All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and waiting patiently for the intro to finish up there. I hope everybody is doing well today. JMR, Mini Tom, The Unknown, Mr. B. Excuse me. Not sure why my voice just did that, but appreciate you guys joining me. Irfan says, MBG, dude, listen closely. If DMC or The Witcher 3's new DLC show up, I'm literally going to jump from the roof. Whoa. Calm down, Irfan. I feel like that's the opposite of what you want to do. You know? Like jump out of a window from the first story. First floor. Maybe that's what you do. Just be careful, Irfan, all right? Gee, I wonder if Irfan's hyped. Raven, what's up, man? Daniel, Blazer. I'll play them in the hospital. Well, where there's a will, there's a way, right? But yes, thank you guys for joining me today. We actually have, I would say, a very exciting discussion today about State of Play. We were talking about a State of Play announcement coming up soon. Everything pointed to February 12th. It's true. It's happening February 12th, but there's a little bit of a little bit of a surprise with this State of Play that kind of caught me off guard, and I think it's catching a few people off guard. And it's the fact that this is by far the largest State of Play that Sony has ever done. I mean, just in terms of sheer length, yeah, it's the longest one they've ever done, the biggest one they've ever done. In terms of announcements, we don't know yet, but we're going to talk about that. Terry Boss with a super chat says, Marvel 1943. Wow, we have somebody in the chat talking about Marvel 1943 before Armani Coleman. That's got to be a first. I'm sure he'll show up, though, right? It's his time. Thank you for that, Terry. We also have a $10 super chat from Subtext who says, a 60-plus minute State of Play confirms a feeling I've had for years. They killed the showcase branding for anything other than console announcements because it would train people to ignore State of Plays. I'm hyped. Well, I'm hyped as well, Subtext, and we're going to talk about that. I'm seeing a lot of negativity for this State of Play. I hate to say that. I'm seeing a lot of... Let me walk that back. I'm seeing a split, I should say. It's unfair to say that I'm just seeing negativity. I'm not. I'm definitely not just seeing negativity, especially if you look at the chat right now. But I'm seeing a lot of trepidation. That's the word to use. Trepidation. Favorite word. But yeah, Subtext, I have to agree with what you're saying here, man. I do think that depending on how this State of Play goes, this may confirm that the showcase branding is... I don't want to say retired because I do think Showcase will come back, but it's like you said, I think it will only be reserved for, hey guys, we have a new console to announce, a new generation to start. And even then they might not call it a showcase. Like the original PS5 event was called the Future of Gaming. Maybe it was called the Future of Gaming Showcase, but they'll probably give it some catchy name like that to really hype it up, really sweeten the deal. It's retired and never coming back. Yeah, Sony took it out back, bro. It's over. Could they reveal a handheld here? One of the things that I think may actually get revealed at this State of Play. Now, this is not like a leak or anything. I'm just purely speculating. But I think they might announce the OLED version of the PlayStation Portal. That's something that just like recently leaked out. And we know that Sony tends to always have some kind of hardware reveal at a State of Play. Sometimes small, sometimes a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, this would be the time. And guys, we're definitely going to get into this conversation. We'll check in on your stream. Sometimes I just don't get notifications, sadly. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And I appreciate you tuning in. YouTube, they're all over the place when it comes to notifications, man. I have people, that are hear every single stream, and even, obviously they have every notification turned on, and sometimes they still don't get notified. So I appreciate you being here, man. That's a good one. MBG, do you think there is a chance we get Red Dead Redemption 2 upgraded for PS5 and Xbox Series announced in the next state of play? Yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about Rockstar games and what we could potentially see from them at this state of play. I'm upsetting people very much on Twitter once again. I'm not doing it purposely. I just, I got to be me. I got to be me. And if it upsets some people, well, I can't do anything about it. But guys, listen, before we here we go again. Before we get deeper into the conversation, we have more people filing in. Do me one favor, okay? Please take a moment and hit that like button. If you're excited for the state of play, hit that like button. Hitting the like button not only helps the stream tremendously, but it also lets me know you enjoy the streams. So I'd really appreciate that. And like I said, thank you for just taking time out to hang out here. If you do want to support the channel, the content, and the community more directly, I rely on you guys to be able to do this. I am completely fan funded. I'm sponsorship free. There are a couple of ways you can do that. You can become a channel member. You can gift channel memberships. If we hit a goal of 25, we'll feed the beast, as you know. You can also drop a super chat or a direct donation. These are all ways in which you can support what I do here. So just as usual, big shout out to all of you who support directly. I just literally could not do it without you. Thank you so much. Smash that like button, as they say. Yes. So, yeah, I have to admit, I was not expecting the state of play announcement to happen so soon. I thought the state of play announcement was going to be on Wednesday. That's the way Sony's been doing it for a little while now. Anytime we have a rumored state of play that's happening this week or that week or on this date, Sony always announce it 24 hours. They always announce it about 24 hours in advance. But this time they're announcing it a couple of days in advance. And I'm like, oh, okay, Sony, I see you. I see you. But I want to go over the blog with you. I'll give it a couple minutes. I'll just hang out with the chat for a couple more minutes before we really dive into it, because I want to give it. I'm streaming a little bit later today. I started about a half hour later than I normally do, so I want to give it a few more minutes to let people file in. Some people might not be aware that we're actually live right now. But we're going to go over the blog post, and we're going to dive deep into Paul Tassi suggests that Marathon will show up during the state of play. Oh, I did not expect that. Well, I mean, I'm being sarcastic, of course, but yeah, I would 100% expect Marathon at this state of play. Free weekend. That's the thing that I'm hoping they announce when Marathon shows up. Oh, we got Richrod. He's here to cause the chaos. Richrod with a direct donation. The Richrod tax is in full effect, by the way, for yesterday, because I played his voice message. Crazy. I let this man play a minute-long voice message for free? For free? What am I doing? Running my business into the ground for Richrod. We got a Richrod tax in effect here today, people. He says 60 minutes long. If any of these games are multi-plat and release on Xbox, they deserve to be shut down and homeless. If you support Xbox, you are the two dudes grinding at I guess you're saying SB. I didn't tune in, so I have no idea what you're even talking about. Rich, thank you. Thank you. He could have said anything, folks. He could have said anything about this state of play, and he had to say that. So keep him coming, Rich. But chill. Not too crazy. MBG, I'm begging you, can we please not talk about the toxic X-bots in your chat complaining about the state of play? We don't care about their opinion. They're salty. We just want to be hyped. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call them X-bots, but Yeah, I mean, look, man, I listen. I've been covering state of play for a long time. Let me tell you, I've been here since the start. No, I really have though. Like I've been covering state of play since they were first conceived. I was here for the very first state of play. I think I streamed the very first state of play. Uh, Pretty sure I did. But yeah, I've been covering every single state of play that Sony has done, man. And listen, the people who are constantly saying, keep your expectations low, the people who are constantly saying, state of mid, the people who are constantly saying, this is going to be bad, it's going to be this, it's going to be lame, it's going to be that, they don't realize it, but they're just as annoying as the people who are like, this is going to be the best ever. Like, don't they realize that you're just the opposite of the same coin? You're on the other side of the same coin where, you know, I think realistically, people just should look forward to seeing games at the show. I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? I'm going to establish this nice and early, and I will reinforce this as time goes on. If you tune in to, let's just say this show is an hour and 10 minutes, they said it's more than an hour. So let's just say like an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. There's going to be a lot of games. That's like the big thing here. There's like, I don't think people quite understand just how many games you can squeeze into a 60 plus minute show. That's why people are basically calling this a showcase. If you tune in and you don't walk away with at least 2 to 3 games that got you excited, I'm just going to be real. You have to reevaluate what you're doing in this space and if you're actually into gaming anymore. I mean that. And I'm not saying they have to be PlayStation games. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you take time out of your life to watch shows like this, and you can't walk away with just a handful of games that are like, you know what, that looks good. I want to play that, or I'm looking forward to it, or that got me a little bit excited. Then, like, truthfully, if you're afraid that's going to be you, like, if you're afraid that you're going to be the person that's going to walk away being like, I hate this, I hate PlayStation, I hate State of Play, you shouldn't tune in. And I mean that. You should just wait for the recap. But I think for the rest of us who have been watching State of Play for many years now, we know that it's always kind of been, I would say, relatively mixed. You know, we've had fantastic top tier State of Plays that sometimes did feel like they were as good as like a smaller showcase. We've had State of Plays that were very much like, wow, that was a show. And even if there were like one or two things we were interested in, it still kind of felt very underwhelming. Like, all right, maybe next time. And then there's been a lot that I would say are in between. What really gets me though is the amount of people that talk about state of play as if like the last proper state of play. I'm not talking about the Japanese only one. We're not counting that one. That one was weird. That one was clearly not meant for us. That was literally just meant to talk to the Japanese audience and to basically say we're trying to sell more PS5s here. We're like soft relaunching the PS5 in Japan. That's basically what they did. I'm talking about the one from September. People act like that wasn't a very good state of play, and that blows my mind. And I can only assume at this point that people are just, again, they bandwagon, man. They just say what they think is, they just parrot is the better way to say it. You know, if they see other people saying it, they're going to say it too. Doesn't have to be true, doesn't have to have any meaning behind it. It's just the way it is. But I think the reality is when you look at the last state of play, like, dude, Sony came in with some heavy hitting third parties. They had Soros. They showed that Wolverine gameplay trailer, and they just, that was like a 35-minute state of play. And I think they nailed it. They did exactly what they needed to do. And, people, I think they're like, well, it wasn't a showcase. And it's like, you're right. It wasn't. You're right. And if that's basically what leaves you feeling like, well, I hate it here, then I don't know what to tell you, you know? We back? I'm gonna need some I don't know if I'm live or not. I'm just gonna wait to see we good? We're good. Okay. Yeah, my internet's been acting a little weird today. No, it's not from your end, Irfan. It said my stream basically just died for a couple seconds. So apologies if that continues to happen. I've been noticing my internet's been acting strange today, so hopefully hopefully it won't continue. But I have a super chat from Mark Draken. He says, I really hope FF7 Remake Part 3 is at State of Play. Be careful with that one. Specifically, be careful with FF7 Remake Part 3. The reason I say that is because the last I heard, it's supposed to show up at Summer Game Fest. All right. So, but I don't know for sure. So that's one you want to be careful with, I would say. I would say be right in the middle with that one. Be prepared for it to not show. And Kane Z7 says, hi, MBG, please. Is this State of Play? Is this a State of Play coping stream? It is, yes. Where we get our hopes up just for them to be squashed by Sony. Well, here's the thing. I am going to give you a couple of reasons, Kane, as to why I think it's okay to be excited for this show. But I'm not going to be the person to tell you, you know, your hopes and dreams are going to come true and this is going to be the greatest. Oh, hold on. Yas in the chat. Shinobi 602 apparently says, in regards to a Sony Santa Monica reveal at State of Play, quote, wouldn't be super surprising given their current target release window. Oh. I wonder. Oh, man, that's a. Do you think we could get another bald head reveal if they show Intergalactic? Yeah, if they show Intergalactic, I'll reveal my bald head too. I'll make sure there's some bald to go around, you know? Don't hold me to that. Oh, okay, hold on. So somebody on the Reset Era forums said, oh shit, Corey is potentially on the menu? And, well, okay, so Shinobi 602 said, it wouldn't be super surprising given the target release window, but this is not, he's saying this is not confirmation they'll be there. So be very careful with this one. This is not confirmation from Shinobi, but what's interesting is Shinobi apparently knows the release window. Shinobi knows seemingly almost everything there is to know about this secret Santa Monica game. And geez, man, I mean, if he's saying it wouldn't be surprising given the release window, okay, man, all right. I mean, the timing does seems good. King Sam, a member for 33 months, says, if DMC6 gets announced at this State of Play, I will come. Remember, you will come to the State of Play. That's what he said. COME. Everybody relax. You're right, King Sam. You will come to the State of Play to watch it get announced. Remember, Xbox tweeted, quote, big year for games ending in 6. God of War 6 as well. We got Richrod with another direct. King Sam, yeah, man. Dude, I posted about Devil May Cry 6 on Twitter yesterday, and I was not prepared. I had no idea what's going on with the Devil May Cry fan base right now. And when I tell you I woke up, dude, I just randomly put that post out because there's a rumor from somebody named 777. I don't know who this person is, but there are some claims that this person has gotten some things correct. I don't know. This person said very confidently, though, that DMC6 is getting revealed at the State of Play. And so I just posted about it. And, dude, I woke up. That post had over 1.4 million views, 17,000 likes, and people losing their minds. And I'm like, oh, Rich, yes. So we're going to read the blog post now. Well, let me read this. I'm going to read your direct donation. I'm going to read the super chat, and then we're going to read the blog post. Excuse me. Mark Draken says, I just think with the price drops for Remake and Rebirth, a State of Play announcement would be perfect timing than a deeper look at Summer Game Fest. And you could be right. You could be right. Again, I'm just saying, like, that's what I heard. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe, maybe not. But my only thing, though, Square has been weird with Sony recently. So I'm telling you, something fell apart with it fell apart with the exclusivity deals they had, and I don't know, man. Like, I'll just say you could be right, but don't get your hopes too high just because that. Yeah, I'm wondering if I think Square might just be afraid. I know that sounds so horrible, but I think if what we heard is true, yeah, I don't think they're enemies. I think a better way to put it is that, like, we heard recently that apparently FF7 Remake Part 3 is going to be completely multi-platform, no PlayStation exclusivity, which is not too surprising, but I think Square is afraid if they announce it at a PlayStation show, that's not going to be conveyed properly. People are going to walk away thinking, and that's exclusive too. Whereas if they decide to reveal it for the first time at, like, a Summer Game Fest, they can shout it from the rooftops that this is everywhere now, day one. You get what I'm saying? It might be a strategic decision. Unlike, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Sony does still have the marketing rights. Hard to say. But Rich, with a direct donation, says, "Oh no, it's Alex. You better not even try to watch this State of Play, since you're a fruity PC gamer." I mean, he's literally fruity. He is a banana. So, for once, Rich, you're using that term appropriately. You say you have no right. And if you do, I personally challenge you to a fight. Rich, we're not fighting. There's no violence. There's no violence. Calm down, Rich. And we have NLG Pro, who also tipped a $2 donation. He says, MBG red pill equals play GTA 6 now plus 100K tax free, or blue pill equals Sweet Baby Inc. gone forever plus Shu is back as the head of PlayStation Studios. What you taking? I'm taking the blue pill. Not even because of the Sweet Baby Inc. thing, because of Shuhei Yoshida, the head of PlayStation Studios again. I'll take the blue pill. Got to do it. I got to take one for the team here, you know? The entirety of PlayStation Nation will be like, yes, thank you. MBG, love your cat, but I'm allergic though. Yeah, Luna's hoping she can get some treats today. All right, let's read this blog post. Cat's gonna kiss Kratos. She does act weird towards Kratos. I'm not sure why. Please don't hurt me. She's like, you talking about me? All right, guys, we have the PlayStation blog post up. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. We have almost 300 people here, which is fantastic. Thank you for that. All right, February 9th, 2026, PlayStation blog. State of Play returns this Thursday, February 12th. Get ready to watch over an hour of game news and updates from developers across the globe. Tune in live this Thursday for 60 plus minutes of news, gameplay updates, and announcements from game studios across the globe. February State of Play will spotlight eye-catching third-party and indie games headed to PS5, along with the latest from teams at PlayStation Studios. Suck it, Microsoft. And that's what the PlayStation blog reads. For me, it's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, but 2 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. CEST. And then it's going to be on February 13th, Japan time. So, yeah, man. They're saying it. Yeah, they really said that at the end. They really did say that. I'm not kidding. But listen, if you across the globe it feels like a hero project thing, well, you know what? Um, there's like two big things here, in my opinion. The first is what I kind of am a little bit fixated on 60 plus minutes. Like, guys, this is by far going to be the longest state of play ever. Sony's never done a state of play this long. However, listen, they've done state of plays like this, except they're like, and stay tuned for a 20-minute, what is it? Like a 20-minute demonstration of kill the Justice League or something like that, where every time they would have these extended stated plays, it's like, okay, we're good. You get what I'm saying? This is the first time they're doing one this long, and they are not saying that. That's the first thing I want you to pay attention to. The second thing is they straight up say, along with updates or the latest, they say, the latest from teams at PlayStation Studios. So third party confirmed, indie confirmed, PlayStation Studios teams confirmed. I mean, boys, I think we're looking at a showcase. That's right, Luna. We're looking at a showcase. I'm just going to say it. Now, I'm not saying it'll be a great showcase. Keep in mind, the last showcase we had was May 2023, and that was devastatingly bad. Teams, as in plural, teams, multiple teams. This is looking exciting, guys. So we're going to talk about, I think I'm going to bring up every PlayStation studio and talk about what's most likely, but I want to start with third-party stuff first. All right? It was horrifically bad. 10 minutes of marathon and fair games. Listen. I'm going to put it as bluntly as I can. This is Herman's chance to redeem himself. Okay? I don't think it's a coincidence that Sony made the strategic decision. This game here, this Horizon Live Service game, we're going to put it over here. Okay? And go announce it over there. It's fine. We're not canceling it. Just do it over there. Over here, we're focused on other stuff. I'm just saying, I think Sony's trying to send a message. I could be wrong, but the reason why I'm a little bit more hopeful this time is because, if you go back to the last showcase Sony did, they were basically destroyed because almost every first-party game they announced was a live service. They opened the show with Fair Games, which was just a CG trailer that literally made everybody look at each other and be like, what the fuck was that? And I remember like, oh, okay, weird opening, but we still got a whole hour left. Just for them to end the show with the Concord CGI burger, the Marathon CG trailer, and then they're like, here's Spider-Man gameplay. And even though that Spider-Man gameplay looked very good, it's like, wait, what? Like, that's your showcase? And they're like, yup. And it was bad. It was really bad. So my hope is that by them announcing this new live service game outside of this hour-plus long state of play, it's them subtly trying to send a message. It's not, listen, I want to make something clear. This doesn't mean there won't be live service games at this show. That's not what this means. But I think it's them reading the room a little bit and understanding that this one's likely to get backlash and really bring the show down. So just in case, let's just give it its own reveal separately. Smart. I think that's smart. I do think Marathon will absolutely show up. But, we do have to understand that there's a few other teams at PlayStation Studios that are currently working on live service games. So I'm not trying to bring anybody down. I'm just saying my hope is that if they're looking over their live service portfolio and trying to determine which live service games are more likely to get people very excited and minimize backlash versus what live service games are going to do the opposite and actually make it something that people go berserk over. I think that's what they're doing. The Last of Us Factions remastered. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I wouldn't expect that, though. All right, so I do want to start with third party, though. MLB. Well, they already did the MLB announcement as well. So I don't think MLB will show up there. God of War 2018 remastered. Don't joke. We have Mrs. MBG, a member for 33 months. Thank you, Mrs. MBG. She says, hit the like button. Yeah, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. I'm going to start with some third-party stuff, though. I'm going to start with the big one. I'm going to start with the elephant in the room. Well, we got a couple of elephants in the room. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start with GTA 6. Let's just get this out of the way now. Jack already knew. You'll be at work when the state of play starts? Damn, Jake. Sorry to hear that, bro. Will GTA 6 show up? Well, listen. I'm going to lean towards no, but I am just going to point out a couple of things that, I think are just worth keeping in mind, just in case. Just in case. 10% chance, you think? I think it's higher than 10%. But the first thing I want to highlight, because I feel like everybody forgot about this, and I'm like, this is kind of a big deal. May 7th, 2025, Rockstar Games drops trailer number 2 for GTA 6. And it gets over 24 million views on Twitter, probably, or way more than that, actually, but hundreds of millions of views. They put a post out. They say, Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 2 was captured entirely in-game from a PlayStation 5, comprised of equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. And at the very end here, when they show the splash screen, Grand Theft Auto 6, this is when it was supposed to come out in May, captured on PS5, okay? That's one thing I want to point out. I also want to just point out a couple of facts regarding GTA, GTA 6, Rockstar Games, and PlayStation. Again, this is not me telling you GTA 6 is going to show up. I'm just saying for anybody who is not in the camp of it's definitely not happening, I'm just pointing out a couple of things that, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. So fact number 1, the last trailer emphasized it was captured on PS5 multiple times. Fact number 2, the last trailer also seemingly had a PS5 console in it. I don't know if you guys remember that. Fact number 3, Sony had the marketing rights for both Red Dead Redemption 2 as well as GTA 5. Fact number 4, the first ever PlayStation 5 showcase opened with Jim Ryan announcing that PlayStation is continuing their partnership with Rockstar Games this generation. That was literally the first announcement Sony made for the next generation. Kind of wild to think about that. Fact number 6, PlayStation is the main platform for GTA 6. And fact number 7 here, unless I lost track, every single GTA game has had a PlayStation console bundle, except for GTA 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 1, even the PSP games. So, I want to push back against everything I just said, though, to kind of cancel it out, because it's like, oh, that all sounds good. Maybe it's possible. On the other side of that, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, just said to their investors that they're going to really be kicking off marketing this summer. So, I don't think that's confirmation that they wouldn't drop another trailer, because think of it this way. He said, we're going to kick off marketing this summer, but they already released 2 GTA 6 trailers and a handful of screenshots. Do you see what I'm saying? I think what he really means by marketing is like a nonstop every day. We got more we're showing off about GTA 6 every week is going to be filled with GTA 6 news. I just think it's important that people understand when he says that, that's not him saying we won't show another trailer. I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up. I'm just saying we have to look at these things for what they are, not what we want them to be. Kevin Thomas with the super chat says, I need Intergalactic to have body horror or cosmic horror in it. How cool would that be, man? If it has cosmic horror in it, that's going to be exciting. Body horror, yeah, I could get down with that too. But, well, I mean, considering how violent and crazy The Last of Us Part 2 is in terms of what you can do. We back? Happened again. We good? All right. Yeah, man, that's fucking annoying. I don't know what's wrong with the internet today. All right, we're back. What's the blue badge? It's for channel mods. They replaced the wrench with the badge, Michael. Well, Sparky Nuts, I want to ask you this question. So you're saying you got to stop hyping people up for GTA. Listen, I'm not trying to hype anybody up. I'm just putting facts out there. And it's like, are you trying to say that GTA 6 will be at the state of play? I'm not saying it will be. I'm saying it's not impossible. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't think Sony needs GTA 6 to make this a good state of play, and I don't think GTA 6 needs a state of play to capture people's attention. Certainly not. But I will say this, right? But it is impossible. You're the only person predicting it. Well, when you put it that way, yeah. But if anything, me saying this is ensuring and guaranteeing it will never show up at a state of play. No, but listen, I will say that I'm just going to put it out here like this. All right. This is the way I'll put it. If you are Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games, when you release GTA 6, you already know records are going to be broken immediately. Okay. Rockstar doesn't have to do pretty much anything to build hype. I mean, they could literally sneeze and people will be hyped. I don't think if they were to show anything GTA 6 related at a state of play, it's not meant to do anything other than we are getting the message out there. We are driving home the message. This game is going to be on PS5. That, I think, is the most important thing here. Because do you know how many tens of millions of people are walking around right now thinking this game's coming to PS4? They have no idea. People are stupid. I'm sorry, but they are. Or maybe not stupid. That's kind of rude, but they don't pay attention, especially the casuals. And we know how casual of a game GTA is in terms of, I'm saying Rockstar Games, they're looking to absolutely maximize everything about GTA 6. If I were them, I would definitely at some point, maybe not this upcoming state of play, but at some point appear at a state of play to really drive home. Guys, this is a next gen, a current gen only game. Like, this is PS5, okay? And PS5 is also the main platform. So I'm not saying, I think people get weirdly, not you guys, but I've noticed it on Twitter. People get weirdly defensive. They're like, Rockstar doesn't need Sony. Sony's garbage. Like, dude, I'm not saying they need, like, obviously they don't need them. I'm just simply saying that it's a good mutually beneficial partnership that people seem to be always ignoring that part. It's mutually beneficial, you know, especially in the beginning when it's not launching on PC. It's not launching anywhere else. It's only launching on PlayStation and Xbox Series consoles. So it's not a matter of they need it. It's just a matter of I think they might want it. And Michael Wernick comes in. Michael looking to do some heavy lifting for you guys today. He drops 10 memberships on you guys. He rips open the 10-pack. Guys, I want to see that 10-pack emoji flowing in the chat.
Holy shit.
Michael, thank you so much for that, bro. I'm going to add that to the counter. So that actually kicks us off today and takes off a good chunk of the goal there. Michael's always dropping big support for the community. He loves this channel. He loves the community. Most importantly, he loves me. Thank you, Michael. We got to get that member train rolling. Yeah, man. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna be. Are we lagging again? I can't tell if we're lagging again. I'm sorry. It's gonna be annoying today, man. No, we're good. All right. I'm gonna be paranoid. Be paranoid the whole stream. I do love Mr. MBG. He said I have to be nice to his wife for some reason. Hey, everybody has to be nice to Mrs. MBG, especially you, Gaming Survivor. We'll whoop his ass next time I see him. Where is that guy? He should be here right now. All right. So we'll just get GTA 6 out of the way. Listen, just to make everything clear, because again, I know some people are interpreting me as I'm hyping up GTA 6. I do not expect GTA 6 at the State of Play. I do not. If I had to give you a percentage, to me, it's, I think 35, 65. 65% chance it does not show up. 35% chance it might in some capacity. So I'm leaning more towards no. Not thinking it's going to show up. Will I stream during or after the State of Play? I'll probably stream before, during, and after the State of Play. Since you brought it up, they're going to have it now. Do you expect GTA 7? That's very bold. It's a very bold prediction. I mean, Garrett says 35%, more like 0. Maybe I should adjust it. All right. Let me readjust it. 1% chance it shows up. 99% chance it doesn't. How about that? Is that better? Death Stranding PC. I do think that will show up. Yes. I think Death Stranding PC's, the Death Stranding 2 PC announcement, I thought it was going to happen already, but we know that Kojima's been working on a new trailer, so I think it's safe to say that's what that's going to be for. Garrett says better. Nazkid a member for 19 months, said, isn't it a better chance GTA shows up at State of Play in the summer? No. Why would you say that? Yes. No, the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. I'll tell you what. Let's just be real right now. If GTA ever shows up at a State of Play, it'll show up at the September 2026 State of Play with a GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundle. All right. And we have Rockfresh 1993 with a $3 super sticker doing a fist bump. He's hype. Yeah, Death Stranding 2's PC announcement, I feel like that was supposed to happen already. But we have to remember that Death Stranding 1, it did come to PC. Sony did not publish it on PC. This time around, I think Sony absolutely is publishing it on PC. We've been waiting for the September showcase for years. All right. So, other third party games. I know this one's kind of obvious, but we have to talk about it. Resident Evil Requiem or 9. And oh, you know what? Hold on. Before I move on to that, Red Dead Redemption 2. Listen, it is, I think, much more likely that Rockstar, if they were to show up at the State of Play, they would show up with Red Dead Redemption 2 remastered or the PS5 or next gen version. The reason why I say this is because not only have we been anticipating this for like years now, but recently Nate the Hate, who's a very reliable and accurate insider, Nate the Hate said that as far as he's aware, that's still coming out this year. So we have to think of this in terms of, okay, well, if the marketing cycle of GTA 6 isn't going to start until summer, GTA 6 itself isn't launching until holiday 2026, then when would Red Dead Redemption 2 be announced and released for PS5 without it interfering with that or getting in the way or being awkwardly placed? I think right now is that time, announcing it at the State of Play, and then it's coming out maybe next month or something. So I want to just say when it comes to Rockstar Games showing up at the State of Play, um, that is something that I believe is significantly more likely than something like GTA 6. We also have Kane Z7 saying actor Brian Deckard from Detroit Become Human teases something for the upcoming PlayStation State of Play. Detroit Become Human remaster? Ooh. Yo. Uh, Panprov says, your streams are awesome. Thank you. I'm really glad you like them. Thank you so much. More likely Star Wars Eclipse. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that game. Yeah, he could also just be working on a new game and he'll be part of it. But there's another third party game that I want to talk about with you guys. And again, I know this one is fairly obvious, but my hype for it is very high, and that is Resident Evil 9. I think it is safe to say that Resident Evil 9 will show up at the State of Play. And I think I'm going to lock in a prediction right now. You ready? I'm locking in the prediction that they're going to shadow drop the Resident Evil 9 demo. That's my prediction for, I guess, Capcom. I'm locking that in. I think that's a guarantee. The timing is perfect. I remember Capcom, they released the Resident Evil 4 remake demo uh, 2 weeks before it came out. So that if you line that timing up with where we are now, it's perfect. The other thing I want to say, though, that I'm really not sure of, we have talked about this a few times, but it's something that a lot of PSVR 2 players are holding out hope for. The idea of a PSVR 2 announcement for Resident Evil 9. I don't want to say that's likely, but I think that's that's a coin flip. I mean, we've seen how they've supported the mainline Resident Evil games have supported PSVR since the original with Resident Evil 7, and it's been like a decade. So they're like pros, you know. All right, come on. Oh, I didn't realize Luna was still chilling. All right, boss, come on up. Boss, oh my god. Bro, why do you smell like that? Dude, okay, this is a problem. Why do you smell like that? Yeah, this isn't gonna work. You need a bath. Is that your breath? I don't know. This cat stinks. Why are you gonna come over and ruin, just absolutely obliterate the? I'm like checking him. I'm like, dude, did you just like come and take a dump over here? Damn, Dill. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I'm just trying to talk games, man. Oh, yeah, MGS. Oh, I didn't think about that. Metal Gear Solid Collection? Bro, you actually stink. Like, I'm serious. Like, you smell real bad. I'm gonna have to escort him out of here. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm gonna have to give him Mrs. MBG and dude, oh my god. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Stop it. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. He just jumped up on me and he just smelled like real bad. Okay, boss, don't start running around. Okay. He's panicking. He's like, no, no, mama, no, don't give me a bath. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I'm still here. Sorry. Yeah, so I wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy. Bro, like, I guess bro took a dump and wasn't quite finished. Uh, that could have been so much worse. I knew something wasn't right. Don't worry, camera will be coming back momentarily. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Boss is like walking around like I was just violated. Like, bro, that cat life. Let me tell you. Hold on, should be good now. Come on, man. I'm over here trying to hype up the state of play, and my cat, he's like, yeah. But what about how much I smell like shit? What about that? It's like, okay. It's always got to be about boss. He violated me. MBG, I'm eating right now. I'm sorry. How do you think I feel? State of Dookie, bro. All right. What game were we even talking about, man? Well, speaking of cat feces, let's talk about Microsoft games potentially showing up at the state of play. So there is apparently a big expectation that Starfield may actually be revealed at the state of play. Like, it might be the first game. It might be the first game that Microsoft reveals at a PlayStation event. So there's a bunch of different rumors and leaks coming out, but oh wait, hold on. Scratch that. Scratch that. It's not going to show up. Yeah. We can kill it right now. We can kill it right now. Apparently Shinobi 602 already commented on this on Reset Era. And I guess because people on Reset Era were talking about, you know, the possibility of something like Starfield showing up. And he says, let me bring it up. Somebody says Starfield news on PS5, I'm assuming, hoping to see what the next expansion is. And Shinobi602 said, since this keeps coming up, that's all happening next month. So that pretty much confirms Starfield will not be at the showcase. So I do wonder what's happening in March, though. Do you think Microsoft could be doing another developer direct or something? Or maybe Bethesda will do something on their own? And that's fine, too. Yeah, I don't... I mean, I guess they're not necessarily in a rush. They wouldn't need to announce it like 2 months in advance, I suppose. Wait, hold on. Someone asked him to deconfirm Concord likes at the State of Play. I mean, it does kind of seem like Shinobi's interesting because he seems like he's like extremely well connected. Where like he barely says anything because he doesn't want to, I guess, break any of those ties, but he's a dev. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Are you going to play it now that it's going to be on PS5? Absolutely not. No. You couldn't pay me to play it. I mean, I guess if you paid me enough money, I would force myself to play it, but no. Yo, we're going to do a Starfield torture stream. Did you see that Shinobi talked about Quarry? Yeah. So for those who may have missed it, and I'll reiterate the stuff when we get closer to the State of Play, but Shinobi 602, he didn't confirm that Santa Monica is going to show a game at the State of Play. And he didn't confirm that it's going to be revealed, but he simply said that based on the timing of the release window, so he knows when this game is apparently set to release, he would not be surprised if it showed up. So in other words, he's saying the timing is right. Not confirming it, but how many memberships to try Starfield? Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll wait for the announcement, and if that, I don't know. Jeez, man. It's like I start playing, I'm like, it's actually pretty fun. The greatest con of all. I told them I wasn't excited for Starfield. They thought it was a torture stream. Yo, I should start doing that. Man, I hate Resident Evil. Those games are the worst. Those games keep me up at night. It would be such a shame if my audience were to hit a goal and make me do some kind of torture session stream and force me to play Resident Evil 9. Actually, that would be kind of torturous because, like, I say that jokingly, but the last time I tried streaming a Resident Evil game at launch, I think it was Resident Evil 3 Remake, I got so stuck on the puzzles and I just started panicking because I'm like, everybody's watching and I don't know what I'm doing. And then I just like didn't know what to do and I just started running around and I'm like, okay, I'm going to end the stream now, guys. So, yeah, I guess it's actually not a joke. But no, to be honest, I have no interest in Starfield, man. I really don't. It'll be cool to see the announcement of it coming to PS5, and I do think Starfield is a game that actually has a really good chance of doing well on PS5, but I'm good. Onimusha release date. Oh, yeah, that's another good one. That could show up. That is supposed to come out this year. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, the remake. That game looks really good. That could show up. That would be a great title to show up because the original Tomb Raider is so synonymous with PlayStation, the PS1. That would be fantastic. That looks great, too. Yeah, that's another game I can't believe is coming out this year, man. More Control Resonant. I mean, you guys are listing off these games, and geez, yeah. That's another thing we got to talk about, the PSSR 2 update. Star Wars Jedi 3. Oh, yeah. Tides of Annihilation. Spyro 4 Copium. Apparently, Spyro 4 is in development. Apparently. Ray, you're saying when Starfield drops, I'll wait a month and it will be half price. Then maybe I'll pick it up. MacTube. Oh, no. Oh, no, MacTube. You didn't get the news, did you? I'm about to ruin MacTube's day. How do I tell him? MacTube. I think Mudang was canceled, bro. Mudang. Yeah. So, in case, well, it does seem like you missed it, and I guess anybody else who may have missed it, but that game Mudang looked really promising. The studio suffered mass layoffs. Oh, he's doing the Darth Vader no in the chat. The studio faced mass layoffs, and they've been reduced to like 15 devs, and they've gone completely dark and silent on everything. And it's just kind of just disappeared, man. And everybody seems to be under the assumption that the game got canceled because they ran out of funding. Boss, are you clean now? Don't jump on me. Now I'm scared. So yeah, it seems like they might be that game might be cooked. And that is very sad because that game looked great. It looked very promising. So now I just do want to make it all right. All right, look. I know we were supposed to wait till we hit 25 members, but I just now boss, I'm just scared of boss now. I'm telling you, he did this because I revealed his original name was Hamburger. Oh, Judas. Yeah, that's another one too. But yeah, MacTube, just to be clear, it's not officially confirmed to be canceled. There was no official announcement that the game was scrapped, but it's just looking really, really bad. It's looking very likely that it is going to get canceled or already silently was. Don't feed him this much or he'll shit too much. No, well, dude, listen, man, it's not like he had like diarrhea or anything. All right. It wasn't like that. It's just sometimes cats of his age, he's getting older now, guys. They can, you know, they can struggle to properly clean themselves. If you don't know about cats, cats clean themselves. I mean, they don't miss anything. Okay. Like, that's all I'm going to say. They don't miss anything. They clean themselves very thoroughly. But when they get older, I mean, he's not like that old. He's not like an elder cat, but he's getting a little bit lazier as he gets older. He's getting a little bit lazier. I notice he seems to be bathing himself less compared to, say, like Luna or Clark. They can't clean their head and ears. Actually, they can. If you ever see a cat, they'll lick the side of their paw a bunch of times, and then they'll do this, and that actually is how they do it. And their saliva is like really clean, or it's supposed to be. So they actually do know how to clean their heads and their faces. But yeah, and I keep getting distracted. So Stray 2, speaking of cats, Stray 2, are we going to get a Stray 2? Stray was amazing. JMR, I'm sorry to hear that. That's good. 13 years, though? That's good. That's good. Good amount of time. Persona 4 revival, possibly. I mean, what about Persona 6? Right? Like, isn't that supposed to happen? So yeah, we're just, excuse me, we're just covering a bunch of third-party stuff, and I mean, listen, man. When it comes to third-party announcements, whether it be updates, new reveals, even like second-party deals that Sony may announce, I think almost anything is possible, especially when you look at how strong this year is. And we're approaching like the end of the, I mean, I don't know if I want to say the end of the PS5 life cycle, but the later years. That's when you start to see a lot of teams are like, we've been working this entire gen. Oh, dude, Max Payne oh, that would be amazing. Max Payne remake. Hell yeah, man. We have Easy Tone with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, Easy Tone. He says, usually February gaming shows are pretty low key. I could be overthinking it, but is it possible they may try to get big news out to avoid running into the GTA 6 summer marketing machine? That's actually I don't think you're overthinking that. I think that's actually pretty smart. I didn't even consider that. Because it is true that games want to avoid releasing anywhere near GTA 6, but for very similar reasons, yeah, once the GTA 6, as you put it, marketing machine kicks into full gear, uh, oh yeah, that's another thing that these studios and developers are going to kind of have to fight against. That's a great thought, Easy Tone. I actually did not consider that because I was kind of thinking along the lines of, wow, yeah, this like of all the stated plays you could make your biggest one ever. Why would you do February? Seems a bit premature. Why not like the June state of play or the September state of play? That could be exactly why, because it's like, there's going to be so many other, not only other events happening, but yes, if GTA 6's marketing cycle is meant to kick off in like June and last all the way up to launch, I mean, that's almost half a year. I think that's a bit too soon, maybe, but we don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that could explain it, Easy Tone. And I wouldn't be opposed to that, Sony just kind of going ham at the beginning of the year. I can't remember though if Sony's ever done a really big showcase early in the year. I mean, the only thing I can think of is the January state of play we got in 2024. That was a pretty big one. That was like 45 minutes. So that was close to an hour. And it ended with the Kojima partnership announcement. But yeah, 60 plus minutes. This is unheard of. So Easy Tone, thank you for the super chat, man. And that's yeah, I don't think you're overthinking it. I think that's a big deal that every video game publisher, and especially the marketing teams, they have to think about that. They have to consider that. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The PS4 reveal, the original PS4 reveal, although they didn't show the console, was in February of 2013. That was a pretty big event. I think that was the first time Mark Cerny like revealed himself, and he looked kind of crazy for some reason. Amazing, amazing. God, man, we need that. Speaking of Mark Cerny, PSSR 2. Something that you're excited for the state of play. I'm glad to hear that, man. I appreciate the people who are expressing excitement. Okay, boss. I don't. No, no, man, no. I just fed you. I just, please, just chill. And Ray comes in. We got Metal Gear Ray, 46-2 ahead of me, bro. He drops another 5. He rips open another 5-pack. Boss, please. Ray, thank you. All right, well, you smell fine now. You smell fine, so I guess this is okay. Why do you have to stand like that though, man? It just feels weird. Just be normal. Be a normal cat and just like lay down or sit. There's something. Just God. See what I have to put up with, man? But Ray, thank you so much for dropping another 5 memberships. That brings us to 15 on the day. We are now just 10 away from hitting the first goal. Although I guess in this case, if we do hit the goal, I can feed Luna. I'm sure. She's coming over now. So Michael dropped 10. Ray dropped 5. Guys, Carrot's just like, smell my ass. Like, yeah, man. That's just I imagine seeing this chat out of context. Uh, you know what the great part about streaming is that somebody absolutely, Garrett, somebody did join the stream, and that's the first thing they read in the chat, and they have no idea what's happening. They're like, "What's wrong with Garrett? This guy needs some help. Why is MBG not banning him?" Guys, yeah, if you want to contribute to the goal, as I said earlier, I'm totally fan funded here. State of J1 says, "Thank you for the gift, Ray." And yeah, we have members exclusive content that when you're done here today, if you do have a membership, you can go check that out. We'll have more coming in the future. I have to put more thought into what we're going to do for members content because as I understand it, YouTube is I don't know how true it is. I have to do more research, but it seems like YouTube is not. I guess the best way to word it is it can be deleterious to your YouTube channel, apparently, to do member content. So I'm going to have to look more into it. But either way, for those of you who are supporting as members and who gift memberships, keep in mind that the big driving factor here is you are directly supporting the channel. You guys are the backbone of the channel. And you guys make it so we can keep it sponsorship free as well, which I much prefer. So I don't know, Space Gambler. I don't know. But thank you guys. And yeah, keep in mind, you can always drop a single member gift as well if you want to continue to contribute to the goal. I just like to remind people of that because I think sometimes when people they see 5, they see 10, sometimes people think that's like the minimum or something. Like no, they can always you can always just drop one. I do want to talk about PSSR 2.0 though because well, this is something that I've been talking to you guys about for a while and we have heard numerous times that Sony is planning to announce and I assume release PSSR 2.0 in Q1 of 2026. Now, if you look at where the state of play is landing, the state of play is happening smack dab in the middle of Q1. And so, I mean, it is possible that one of the reasons why this show might be so long is because they might have a small segment dedicated to, you know, Mark Cerny. I don't know. It wouldn't be like a presentation, to be clear. It would be more like a 2 or 3 minute. Oh, I see Mrs. MBG has a new profile picture in the chat. I like it. It looks good. I didn't recognize it for a second. But I think, we could see like a 2 or 3 minute trailer where it's kind of like Mark Cerny announcing it. They're showing off games that are taking advantage of PSSR 2.0, something along those lines. I could be totally wrong, just to be clear. Mark Cerny and PSSR 2.0 and the PS5 Pro, for that matter, might have really no place in this state of play. But, I just think it's worth keeping in mind when we are kind of trying to predict what this show is going to have and what we can expect. I mean, yeah, this is something that is coming. It's real. It's not like some made up thing. So yeah, there's a chance, guys, and I would like to see it. It would be cool if like towards the end of the show. I'm assuming the end of the show is when they're going to focus on like first party stuff. It'd be cool if like in between showing off a couple games or something, they're like, you know, here's PSSR 2.0 presented by Mark Cerny. And we have Zombie Dragon coming in. Zombie Dragon rips open another 5-pack for you guys and wants to contribute to the goal here. Zombie Dragon, thank you so much for
Thank
that,
you.
man.
Appreciate it.
And I'll give you
Simply put, it's the most
Mark Cerny
powerful
for that
console
one.
we've ever built.
Since we're talking about it. Love to see the 5-pack emoji. And with that, Zombie Dragon brings us to 20. So, guys, we are now 5 away from crushing the first goal of the day. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure Luna, she was here, but I know Luna wants her treats. Member train, absolutely. Thank you, guys. And yeah, Michael, you're saying it's just for the PS5 Pro, correct? So PSSR is only available on the Pro. The second version of it will also only be available on the Pro. The reason why it's not on the original PS5 is because the original PS5 just literally doesn't have the necessary architecture. So the PS5 Pro, it has, I think it's basically like RDNA 3.5, essentially, which is, I think, the base level of like, okay, this is where PSSR 1 can be implemented. But as far as I'm aware, it's just not possible for them to get it working on the base PS5. Yeah, we're going to talk about potential first party announcements. And for that, I'm actually just going to kind of run down Sony Studios. And I will let you guys know, like, when we do our pre stream this Thursday, I mean, we'll probably cover a lot of this again, but we're also probably going to have a lot more people in that are not here today since it'll be the day of the show. Where's Ember Lab and Kana 2? I have no idea, man. Early's 90 Gamer says, "What's up, MBG? I just got here. What is this about the state of play?" So, if you missed it, Sony announced the state of play. It's happening on Thursday, and it's seemingly they're going to be their biggest state of play ever. It's going to be over an hour long. They say it's 60 plus minutes. They confirm PlayStation Studios will be there. So, early 90s gamer, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a good one, man. Yeah, I'm not trying to overhype people, but we got a big show coming this week. Oh yeah, I forgot the new Plague Tale game. MBG is hosting a state of play party. Yo, I should call it that. I should call my stream that on Thursday. State of play party. Watch party. Oh, there we go. State of play watch party. Michael, that's a good idea. Or hold on, maybe I should go in the other direction. Greatest state of play ever happening now. Can't miss it or don't miss it, you know? I feel like that might be a mistake. I don't know about that one. Because then people are going to be mad at me and are like, bro, that sucked. Dude, if I really want to get the viewership on Thursday, new GTA 6 trailer at State of Play today? Question mark. That's it. That's the title. If I want, I could do it. I don't know if I will, though. Thought it was at your place. That's what my invite said. Michael, shh. You know I can't invite everybody. Yeah, that's one of the things we predicted early 90s gamer. I was saying that a demo for Resident Evil 9, I think, is pretty much guaranteed to show up. Mid-fest watch party. Collect all the haters like Pokemon. Dude, how funny would that be if I swing in the opposite direction? And it's like, worst state of play ever incoming. State of trash. Yo, that would be some shit. Get the green lighting going. Get like a green outfit or some shit. I don't know, like an Xbox shirt. State of trash. 60 minutes of garbage. I mean, that's an idea too. That's an idea as well. Just put Bloodborne in there. Yeah. State of play, GTA 6 new trailer, Bloodborne remake. What else? Got new God of War. Last of Us. Screw it. Last of Us 3. Why not? FF7 Part 3. Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, just for good measure, Kingdom Hearts 4 in there. Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Forget Marvel Tokon. By the way, that's a game that I keep forgetting to mention that game. Marvel Tokon will be at this state of play. I don't know why, man. Every time I talk about the games that are going to show up, that game just, I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to run down the first party studios. And we'll probably do this again on Thursday. But we'll do it here too. And I want to talk about pictures from Eidos Montreal's canceled Lord of the Rings game? Leia, now you're here? All right. Hold on, guys. I swear, man. Having this many cats, it just feels like having kids sometimes. I'm going to be honest. It does. And I have kids, so I know. Damn cat family. Granny Fluvins. Well, you know what's interesting is I did play Marvel Tokon, the beta, and I actually enjoyed my time with it. I don't know if it's something I can get deeply into, but I had more fun with it than I expected. So it is a game that I might end up playing. We have PlayStation Pete. He drops a $2 super chat and he says, "We'll start AI bus. My friend makes 100K a year." So I'm not sure what you said in the first part, but PlayStation Pete, are you trying to say you oh, business, my bad. God, I couldn't figure that out. An AI business. Yeah, sorry. I'm like, AI bus? What are you talking about, PlayStation Pete? What are you dumb? All right, let me try this again. He says, "We'll start an AI business. My friend makes 100K a year. Damn, PlayStation Pete. Hook me up, bro. If it succeeds. Good luck. Hook me up with some AI stuff." And oh, I'm sorry, Angry Whale Watcher. My bad, bro. Angry Whale Watcher decided to drop a single gift. He wants a single train. Guys, is it time? You're going to make me play the theme? You're going to make me play the theme? Angry Whale Watcher, he wants the single train. Thank you for that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, PlayStation Pete. I hope that works out for you, bro. You have to let me know how it works out. Play Thomas. I'm always hesitant to play that because it always gets copyrighted. So anytime I do play it, I have to end up cutting that part out. Do you think it would still get copyrighted if I played it at 2 times speed? You know, I'll try that real quick. Guys, I'm going to play the music that's going to get you to drop a single member train. And then we're going to go over all the PlayStation Studios, but I actually do want to test this out. All right, we're going to play it at 2 times speed. Oh my God. Hold on. I got the one with lyrics. Whoa. Hold on. They're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8. And it was at 2 times speed. That's... Is it this one? There we go. That's it. I love it just ends abruptly. Amazing. You know, that's not too bad. That's not too bad because that nice and quick. But you know what? It worked on Big Noids. Big Noids was like, hell yeah, brother. Bar fight starts. Big Noids comes in. He drops a single. He wants that train. Big Noids, thank you so much, my friend. That brings us to 22, so we are 3 away from hitting the first goal. That was your recommendation. We got the single emojis. I have to play it every time somebody drops a... oh, wait, I already lost it. Okay, hold on. What do you think it sounds like at 4 times speed? We're going to get back on track. No pun intended. No pun intended. Okay, we'll do 3 times speed. Thomas and the breakdown train. Ooh, sounds dark. Oh my god, dude! It makes me feel like my head's gonna explode. This is like I've like turned it into a torture session. But we have Canadian Jedi. Canadian Jedi was feeling it. Drops another single. It's working. It's like every time I play it, it like possesses somebody to drop a single. Notice how Big Noids and Canadian Jedi are not the usual suspects. They're different gifters. I may or may not be psychologically manipulating people right now. Play it backwards. Oh, hold on though. I mean, look, man, if I'm trying to summon a 50. All right. One more time at 4 times speed. Let's go. Oh my god. Boss is not amused. Oh my god, that was like 6 seconds. What do you think it sounds like in slow-mo? Oh, boss does not like that. Boss is like, yo, get me the hell out of here. All right, well, guys, if I ever need to get rid of boss, I discovered what I need to do. Oh, and we have SDO coming in. SDO likes the slow-mo. Drops another single, even slower. Slow it down even more. Oh, Hellbound like that one too, bro. So we got SDO and Hellbound. They come in, they drop singles, and where does that take us? Hold on, I've lost. Oh, we are at 25. I forgot to add one of the singles we got from, I think, Canadian Jedi. So thank you guys so much. We did it. We did it. I just need to let Luna know so she can get her treats. We have PlayStation Pete says, I have a name and number of an AI person. Costs $5K. Sounds like a bit of an investment, PlayStation Pete. Be careful. You gotta be careful. Make sure you're not getting scammed, bro. But good luck. Yeah, you have to update me if you go through with it. You sound pretty hyped about it, so I'm assuming you're going to go through with it. Do you think we'll get an OLED portal reveal? That was one of the things I said earlier. I do think that if Sony's going to announce a new piece of hardware at this state of play, the OLED PlayStation Portal makes the most sense. We just saw that kind of leaked out, so I'm anticipating it. Yeah. Luna. All right, let me put the Reps logo up. Get rid of the Feed the Beast logo. Michael, is the stream's being weird? Yeah, I don't think it's a YouTube thing. It might be my internet. Is anybody else having problems? I've been having some issues with the internet today. Of all the days, man. All right. Okay, so before we go over all of the first-party PlayStation studios, you just got an alert that there's issues with FiOS in the area. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. Wow. All right, I'm not surprised. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know. Apparently, we've been informed that in my area, the internet is not in a great place. So, I hope the stream doesn't just like crash or something. It's been holding up thus far, but I guess if at any point the stream just dies, you already know. Oh man, I I hope this isn't a problem on Thursday, bro. So listen, we're gonna go over all the PlayStation Studios, but before I do that, I'm gonna attempt to summon a 50 pack. I'm gonna do something that you know, from what I've read, is supposed to. I don't know if it works or not, but here we go. Okay. Uh my audience's brains should now be pretty much scrambled. And they're now under my control. So what in the actual hell, pushing polygons? Thank you for joining me, my friend. What is happening? Are we doing clown music because we have clown levels of hype for the show? No, it's reverse clown music. It undoes the hate. The haters that are trying to clown on us because we are hyped. Do you see where my logic is there? It sounds horrific. It is horrific. Now I know what it's like to be an Xbox fan. Yeah, all those Xbox fan fests, they gather all of them in the room and they play that on loudspeakers in a locked room that they can't leave for at least like 15 minutes. That's why they're all a little strange when they come back home from those events for a little while. So, all right, where was I? Oh yeah, PlayStation first party. What can we expect? What can we expect from PlayStation first party at the State of Play? Thank you guys for hanging in there. Ryan C. Peters with a $5 chat says, I strongly believe that Corey's new game is a Jack reboot. Oh, okay. So you're thinking that Naughty Dog is letting Santa Monica take over one of their IPs. That would be quite shocking. I have to admit. If that's what Santa Monica's been working on, well, first off, people would lose their minds. I would be so surprised. I'm like, wow, I would have never guessed that in a million years. But I don't know. The one thing about Cory Barlog's game, and I guess that's the studio we could kind of start with here. The one thing about Cory Barlog's game is it's pretty much been confirmed by Jason Schreier that it's not a new IP and it's going to feel like a new IP. But it's also not a sci-fi game like many people believed for years. So when you consider all this, I mean, I guess in that sense, it kind of could be any established PlayStation IP. It could be Jack and Daxter. I'm not necessarily anticipating that myself, but you're expecting his new game to be announced at the big showcase for PS6. I could see that. But I don't know. I mean, my assumption is that dev kits for the PS6 aren't even out yet. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It would make sense though, right? Like that is one title I'm like I could kind of see that being a. I mean, Sony wants to have something like really big at the launch of the PS6, having Cory Barlog's next game. regardless of what it is, that would be a big one. But so listen, when we look at Santa Monica, I want to reiterate this one more time. I know I've repeated it twice on the stream, but people come and go while we're live. So in case you missed it, insider Shinobi 602 said that he would not be surprised. He's not confirming it, but he would not be surprised if Cory Barlog's game does show up because he knows the target release window. He knows when they're planning on releasing this game. So it should at the very least tell you that it's close to being done. I am so curious about what this is going to be, man, because we've been hearing for years about this title, and we've had numerous insiders tease it, but nobody will spoil what it is. And based off of what Shinobi 602 is saying here, I don't know, man. There's a couple of other things with Santa Monica, though. One of the other things is they're working on a mainline God of War, obviously. It's been quite a few years since God of War released, so it's just as likely, I would say, that a God of War announcement could happen. I think Cory Barlog's game being announced before God of War makes more sense, though, considering, that's the game that's been in development for like 6 or 7 years. The new God of War would have only been in development for a few years by this point. And then there is a third Santa Monica project, although I don't think Santa Monica Studios is working on it directly. The third project is the 2.5D Metroidvania God of War game, or it's like a prequel. And I think it stars, I don't know if it stars Kratos' brother, but Kratos' brother is going to be a big part of it. He might be like the main character potentially. But that's a game that's in development by not Santa Monica directly, a third-party studio, but Santa Monica is helping with it and kind of overseeing it. So there are potentially like three, there are basically like three Santa Monica projects that could potentially show up. And like not at once, just like out of those three games, like one of those could show up. Oh my God. Gaming Survivor, calm down, bro. Yeah, Gaming Survivor, he needs another therapy session. He feels good leaving that therapy session. I could tell. Gaming Survivor, by the way, you better be nice to Mrs. MBG. I won't stand for it anymore. You hear me? I'm gonna put you in therapy, son. Again. Double PlayStation therapy for Gaming Survivor. Return to classic God of War. It's like, well, we talk about another first-party PlayStation studio, Blue Point Games. Blue Point Games. No, you're not in trouble, Gaming Survivor. You could be in trouble. You might be. Blue Point Games, though, we know that they were working on a God of War live service game for multiple years. It got canceled. Apparently, they started working on another game, I think, early last year. We don't know what it is, but there seems to be some indication that it might be like a God of War 1 remake or something, because they said they're working on a action game, a melee-based action game that features some puzzles. And I'm like, that checks multiple boxes for God of War. They built assets, Greek-era assets for the God of War multiplayer game that they were working on. So, maybe they would want to reuse them for a remake. So that's another studio. Like, do I think Blue Point Games is going to show up? No. I think Santa Monica is a likely studio to show up. I think Blue Point Games is unlikely, but I do think Blue Point may actually be working on a God of War 1 remake. You need a Wolverine cosplay. I kind of did a Wolverine, not a full-blown cosplay, but I did a Wolverine outfit for the Halloween special Morning with the Misses MacTube. So if you haven't seen that, you go check that out. Could they be working on the God of War collection? I mean, it's possible. I don't know that they would do a collection though, because I don't know. I think by this point, I mean, I guess people would take that. I mean, I'd take a God of War collection over nothing. I mean, as of right now, we haven't got anything from Blue Point since Demon Souls, so I would take it. But Now, my guess is Blue Point wants to do something bigger, like a full blown remake. That's what they did with Shadow of the Colossus. That's what they did with Demon Souls. And I feel like, and we have a Flatted Fifth coming in, renewing their membership. Flatted Fifth, thank you so much for that, buddy. That actually brings us up to 26 members on the day.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
big
it.
shout out to anybody who decides to either be, well, actually, it looks like he chose to become a member based off of the badge. So really appreciate that, man. Those of you who are supporting the monthly membership goes a long way. Let me add that to the counter. So thank you. Yeah, Blue Point's going to announce God of War 2018 remake. Let's see what other PlayStation studios we can go over, though. Bend Studio. So I don't think Bend Studio is going to show up at the State of Play. I don't think we're going to see Bend Studio for quite some time. They're in a very similar situation with Blue Point. They worked on a game for multiple years, a live service game. That live service game got canceled, and they only within the last year started working on something new. We don't know what it is. We have even less information about what Bend is working on than even Blue Point. So, unfortunately, I think Bend Studio I don't think we're going to hear from them until like 2027 at the earliest, And I don't think their game's going to be coming out till probably a couple years into the PS6 life cycle. So I know that sounds a little bit disappointing, but yeah, I would not anticipate going into the State of Play hearing from Bend or Blue Point. Here's a studio we might hear from, though. Dark Outlaw Games. Some of you may not know who Dark Outlaw Games is. I don't know who Dark Outlaw Games is. I don't know what they're working on, but in case you missed it, Dark Outlaw Games is a newly founded first-party PlayStation studio. It was founded a couple of years ago. Jason Blundell is the creative director and the head of the studio. Trying to see if we have almost no information about the studio other than the fact that it seems like, if you recall, Sony had a deal with a new studio. They were called Deviation Games, and they were making a live service game for PlayStation. But something went wrong. The studio ended up getting shuttered, and they closed down. But we'll never really know. We may never really know what happened with Deviation Games, but my understanding is that there were basically two people at the top, Jason Blundell and his name Anthony Davis, I think his name was. They were both from Treyarch. I think Anthony Davis, based off of some of the things that I heard, may have really mismanaged that studio and overspent, went over budget, and it basically just I think doomed the project. And so I think what Sony did is they took Jason Blundell and they took a lot of the development talent from Deviation Games and gave them their own first-party studio. Clearly, Sony has some kind of faith. I'm not saying that really means anything in live service, but they no, Jake, not that one. They clearly like Jason Blundell. They clearly like, to a degree, what they were working on. So Dark Outlaw Games has been working on a new first-party co-op shooter. Okay, so they're working on some kind of co-op shooter. We don't know the setting. We don't really know much about it other than that. And they've been working on it for a few years. So, look, I think that this is one of the potential live service games. And I know a lot of people are not excited for any live service games. Concord 7, that's what it's going to be called. A lot of people aren't excited for live service games. But this, look, man, I have no idea what to expect with this game. But it could show up. I think this is one that could just kind of come out of nowhere. We have another studio here, Fire Sprite Games. I think a lot of people have forgotten about Fire Sprite. So in like 2021, Sony acquired Firesprite, and my understanding is Firesprite right now is working on a next gen game. They're working on a PS6 game, and it's Until Dawn 2. That's my understanding. So I do not think, even though it's been a long time since we've heard from Firesprite, the last time we heard from Firesprite was they helped develop Horizon Call of the Mountain. But since then, they've been working very hard on this next gen Until Dawn 2. And I think this is a game that you're not going to see at this state of play. I don't think it's going to be announced this year. I think this is a game that's going to be announced at the PS6 reveal event. Um, so next up, we have Guerrilla Games. Do I think there could be a like minute long trailer for Horizon Hunter's Gathering just for Sony to let everybody know, like, hey, we did announce this game just in case you missed it? Yeah, I could see that. But I don't think it's going to be, I don't think Guerrilla is really going to show up with anything. I have another report here, guys, not to make this negative. I'm not trying to turn things negative towards Horizon again. I'm not, but I just need to follow this up. We just heard from Jason Schreier that um, apparently Horizon 3 is on the back burner right now. Like, Guerrilla's all in on this multiplayer game. So Horizon 3 is years away. That came from Jason Schreier. We have a second source corroborating this. Kotaku says their sources are confirming the same thing. It says while Horizon Hunter's Gathering might just seem like another side project, it's actually the main game at the Dutch studio. Two sources familiar with the state of the franchise told us, according to one source, many of the staff are working on Horizon. Many of the staff working on Horizon 3 were pulled over to help with Hunter's Gathering, which Sony is apparently committed to making a multiplayer success. Another source suggested fans might not see the next true Aloy adventure for another 5 years. Oh, man, like, I'm sorry, but I really hope that's not true. Like, dude, it almost sounds like they stopped. Like they're like, yeah, we're not making Horizon 3 just like isn't in development. I hope that's not true, man. I hope that these sources are kind of not fully accurate. Because, bro, 5 years? Like, dude, you're telling me in all, like, we'd have to wait for almost a decade for another proper Horizon game. No way, man. That sounds crazy. Lamin, you're saying MBG, I asked my source at PlayStation France. I have one piece of good news. Until Dawn 2 will be revealed at the state of play. Bro, that's funny. I just said the opposite. I'm like, it ain't gonna show up. I have bad news about one though. The PlayStation title Little Devil Inside is canceled. Damn. I'm not surprised about that. Yo, Lamin, that's all right. I guess we'll find out if your source is good, man, because I thought for sure like Until Dawn 2 wouldn't be announced until maybe next year, in preparation for the PS6, but that'd be great, man. That'd be great. You think you think Lamin's full of shit? I don't know. I don't think he's full of shit, but I think, people get in contact with others and you got to kind of wait to see. We'll see. We'll see though. I mean, that's a pretty bold one. It's a pretty bold one. We'll see if it happens. I'd be excited for that. Dude, I really enjoyed Until Dawn. I really enjoyed it. So Until Dawn 2, that from Firesprite, that'll be interesting. Easy Tones says, so they did with Gorilla what they almost did with Naughty Dog. Unreal. What the F? Here's the problem, though, Easy Tone. Like, it's not even, like, I'm not saying it isn't Sony. I'm saying Sony, I think, is giving some of these studios too much rope. I do. Like, this is a Guerrilla Games decision, just like it was a Naughty Dog decision to say we're not doing factions. Naughty Dog wanted to do factions. They did want to make it a big multiplayer game. This is what they wanted to do. Sony did not force them, but then they said, "Nah, actually, we changed our mind." And Sony was like, "Okay, I guess do what you want at your own peril." But this to me is nuts. Look, I'm not going to continue to dwell on it, but I will call it out for what I believe it needs to be called out for. And like, if, we have two pretty valid sources, I'd say, especially one of them being Jason Schreier, saying that Horizon 3 is like basically not in development and is many years away. In other words, we're probably not going to see Horizon 3 until like the middle of the PlayStation 6 gen. And I'm like, that's unfucking acceptable on every level. Not because it's like you need to pump the sequel out faster. Not because of that. To me, it's unacceptable because it's like, so what are you giving us in between? That's what they're giving us in between. Oh, no. No. Gorilla, I'm sorry. If this is true, you're crossed off my list, bro. I'm sorry. If that's true, if these reports are true, Gorilla's crossed off my list where it's like, you're in it. When I think of PlayStation Studios, I'm not thinking of you anymore. I'll think of you 3 years from now when you reveal Horizon 3. But right now, I'm good. Come on, man. I'm sorry, but like, how do we get here? How do we get here with a studio like Gorilla? Come on. Be better. Damn it, Herman. Somebody. Damn it, somebody at Sony. Why? Anyway, I've been playtesting the Horizon Steel Frontiers NC Salt Discord. It's the game that's closest to Horizon Vision. Laman, if you are trustworthy, because Garrett doesn't believe it. Garrett's like, I don't believe shit. Please let me know if Until Dawn 2 gets announced at the State of Play, then actually, clearly you have a good source. If that happens, then it's like you got a good source. So we'll find out in just a couple days. If that source does turn out to be good, and that actually happens, please ask them if there's any word on this Horizon Steel Frontiers coming to console. Because, god damn it, bro. Decima engine better be licensed out more due to no Horizon 3. God. We have another direct donation from Richrod. Richrod's trying to fight. Oh no, it's Alex. I'm just like trying to talk about PlayStation. I got Richrod like a rabid dog. He says, Alex, you got something to say. Just because Rainbow games aren't on PlayStation don't mean... Rich, I hate to break it to you. Sony just announced the most Rainbow game, bro. Just because those goddamn Rainbow games ain't on my PlayStation. Like, Rich, you got to go rewatch that trailer for Horizon Hunter's Gathering, man. We get the most Rainbow games up in here. I think Rich is confused, man. Oh my God. He's like, wait, what game was that? He's like, wait, who? What game? Wait, did I miss something? Oh, yeah. Rich, didn't you hear? Sony is rebranding State of Play to State of Rainbow. I'm sorry you have to find out like this. No, he's not in the chat. Rich is just, I don't know what Rich is just, he's being Rich. He's being unhinged. He doesn't even know what he's saying at the time. It says, don't mean you can, doesn't mean you can talk smack. Hey, fruit. The Richrod tax is, listen, the Richrod tax was paid in full. We hit 25 members. The Richrod tax is now in effect. He says, hey, fruit nugget, close them cheeks for one damn day. Why can't we just have normal conversations, bro? Like, I got people, I feel so bad for so many of my viewers where they're just like, God damn it, MBG, I just want to listen to a fucking PlayStation YouTuber just talk about PlayStation games, not about people spreading their cheeks. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Just know I feel your pain, guys. I feel your pain. Rich, do you know how many viewers I just lost? God damn it. I'm telling you, Rich, the tax is about to go back into full effect where, you know what? You want to drop a $2 direct dono? I'm going to need 5 memberships to read that dono. Anyway. All right. Garrett, Laman, calm down. It's okay. Calm down. Now I got people fighting in the chat. Don't make me go dad mode up in here. It's fine. It's fine. What is happening in the stream? I don't know. I wish to help people would shut the fuck up about woke or wokeness. Hey, Titus, that sounds pretty woke, bro. All right, I'm sorry. See, now I'm starting to troll my own audience. Hello, my fellow... Mr. Din comes in. Hello, my fellow gamers. It's a great time to be a PlayStation fan.
This is an incredibly exciting time for PlayStation.
Herman, is that you? Is that you? Rich says I'm an asset to this channel. Sometimes. Sometimes an asset, sometimes a detriment. It all evens out, I suppose. No, I do agree. I feel like the talk, you just can't use the terminology woke anymore. Like, I just can't use it seriously in a conversation because it doesn't accurately describe. Nobody knows what it means anymore. It lost its meaning a long time ago. By the way, it says we're at 27 members. I guess I may have missed something. If I did miss something, I very much apologize. I thought we were at 26. I just think that we've reached a point where people just have to explain in more detail what they're trying to say. Because these days, I think people have just decided that this means that and that means this. And it's like, well, no, it doesn't. It's like, yes, it does. It's like, okay. All right. It's like people using the word slop now. What does that even mean? That's lost all meaning. Slop. Slop it up. State of slop. Irvin says, to change the discussion, I called my uncle at Sony asking what's going to show up the state of play. He told me not to call him again. What a rude uncle. Oh, actually believable. Rather than my uncle told me, my uncle said, shut the fuck up. I'm at work. Now I believe you. MBG, this is why we just need to stick to the positive topics for the games we're hyped for. I mean, I hear you. My whole thing, MacTube, these days, there's a lot of people that they look for certain areas on the internet where it's like a comfort zone for them. And a lot of times it's like we just lean more towards this or we lean more towards that. I am obviously much more towards leaning towards PlayStation and trying to be as positive as I can. But at the same time, like, you know, I've tried to express to people without being rude about it, but just giving what I respect people enough where I'm going to give you the truth. And that is like, I'm not going to say what I think sometimes people want to hear. I'm going to say what I'm actually thinking. And sometimes that means it looks like I flip-flop. I'm a human being. I change my mind on things. I change my opinion on things. I'm not going to hide from that. I'm not going to pretend I'm perfect. I'm not going to pretend I keep it 100 all the time. Like, no, dude, I'm a regular guy. Like, I get shit wrong all the time. I learn things the hard way all the time. But sometimes I get things right. And I don't expect perfection from anybody or anything. But I'm going to have my thoughts, I'm going to have my thoughts and my feelings. And That's I've always pledged, like, that's what you'll get here on my channels. You will get honesty, sometimes insanity, but honest insanity. All right, let's move on to the next PlayStation Studio. So next up, oh boy, oh boy, Haven Studios. I know most of you know about Haven Studios. Well, Rich, you're asking, what did I miss about Horizon? Wait, hold on, Rich. Did you actually miss the reveal of the Horizon multiplayer game? Well, in case you did, if you missed that, Guerrilla just announced a Horizon multiplayer game called Hunter's Gathering. You'll have to go check out the trailer. I'm not playing it here. And that's their main game for now. Horizon 3 is coming years later. What is... You're asking what's fruity about it. I'm not at liberty to say. It's got that... It literally... So, like, if you buy a box of Fruit Loops and you see, like, Toucan Sam, right? It's like that art style. So that's what we mean when we say it's fruity. It reminds me of Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are good. Underrated cereal. Haven Studio. So, for those who don't know about Haven Studio, this was a studio that was purchased by Sony, I think, back in 2022. And man, it's not been good. The first game that, well, they've never worked on a game before. They've never revealed or launched a game. The first game reveal they ever did was at the 2023 PlayStation Showcase. It was not good, to say the least. Fair games. It's some... Here's the weird thing about fair games. Okay? There's a couple of strange things about fair games. It could actually be a game that turns out good, but not, as of right now, nothing indicates that. And so let me explain. When this game was first revealed, it was revealed in 2023. It was still early on. That's something that's kind of surprising about fair games is when Sony decided to show these CG trailers, these games were like actually still years away. Like it was early reveals for these live service games. Concord, I think, was the closest one to being done. So I'm saying this because I think it would be safe to just pretend that first Fair Games trailer never happened. Because if you look at the response people had to that, it's like, change everything about this and just delete that trailer, pretend it never happened. The most interesting thing about Fair Games and Haven is that they have not been shut down. And I know that sounds brutal, but I mean that. Like, they lost Jade Raymond. I think the CEO of the studio left. Like, multiple people left. And yet the game is still being developed. There was apparently secret testing on the PlayStation Network where the feedback was not great, but it wasn't like a dumpster fire. It was kind of like there could be something here gameplay-wise that's pretty fun, but it needs work. So Sony's taking feedback with this game, like behind the scenes. And look, I have no hope for Fair Games, but I am saying if they, after all this time, haven't canceled it, then that means they had to have completely reworked it. And if they've completely reworked it, a re-reveal might be in order, like a proper re-reveal. This is one of the live service games that I could see showing up at the State of Play, and I think it's going to have to really pop, man. It's going to have to sing. I think that people are not in a place to really have a high level of tolerance at this point for many more live service games that seem like they're just missing the mark, you know? So I would brace yourselves. I think Fair Games is a game that's likely to show up at the State of Play, for better or for worse, man. And, you know, if I'm trying to have any level of optimism, and God, it's taking everything from me to have any optimism, my hope is that they completely rework this game, realize that you need to change the look, you need to change the tone, you need to change the theme, and you got to just make sure the gameplay loop is really fun. If you can do all those things, and that's what you've been working on for the past 3 years, and you show me that in a re-reveal, I'd much rather prefer uh, a reality where we're walking out of that State of Play and it's like, yo, what's going on with Fair Games? Like, just like, holy shit, like, what's going on? Did they cook? Did they take it back to the kitchen and whip up something else? I'd much rather that than they show Fair Games and it's like, how could you not cancel? You know? On the bright side, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I heard. Yeah. I would prefer the Seahawks winning over New England for sure. Richrod with a $2 tip says, what really killed Concord was the tree bush that had I don't know as its pronouns and did not know if it was a chick or a dude. I'm not reading that last part, bro. Like, you're just instigating Rich. 5 membership tax on Rich. Wait, what tree character are you talking about, though? Oh, no. I don't think he was a tree. You're talking about the mushroom alien thing, right? God, they had the weirdest characters. It was a tree? Okay. My favorite Concord character will always be the yellow trash can with pronouns. Doesn't get any better, bro. People just weren't ready, you know? Maybe you're like, wait, maybe it was a shroom. All right. The next studio in line here. This is a studio that I believe is 100% guaranteed to show up at the State of Play. That studio is Housemarque. Okay. I think Housemarque, they still have more to show for Saros. Saros is the next big game or after Marathon, next big single player game that's coming out in just a couple months. So I think, yeah, absolutely. You're going to have a lot of eyes on the State of Play. Show it off. Show them the game. By the way, guys, as we continue on here, make sure you're hitting that like button. We're almost at 180 likes. Thank you for that. Let's see if we can push it to 200. That would really help. So I'm not really going to spend any more time talking about Housemarque because, yeah, I think they're absolutely going to show up. Another studio that is worth mentioning, though, is Insomniac Games. Could Insomniac show up? Well, I do want to point something out to you guys. Let me bring this up on Twitter. We may get a trailer for Wolverine at State of Play. The reason I say this is because, hold on. Apparently, the release date window was updated on the PlayStation Store. Yeah, so Zubitech says here, Marvel's Wolverine listed on PlayStation Store Mexico, expected to launch third quarter 2026. That's between July and September. Insomniac Games, the developer of Spider-Man. So we have like a direct update from the PlayStation Store. This tells me that, yeah, even though Insomniac themselves, they said we're not, well, they didn't say we're not. They just said we're going to be showing you more of Wolverine. That's how they worded it. They said we're going to show you more in spring. That in my brain tells me, okay, so like a spring State of Play. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that they couldn't still give a release date, right? Or show another small trailer giving that release date, maybe announcing pre-orders are opening up. So I think Insomniac is actually kind of a 50-50 thing here, where the fact that we're seeing the release date kind of updated on the PlayStation Store, I'll take that as an indicator that, well, the chances of this game showing up at the State of Play increased substantially. Next up, Media Molecule. So Media Molecule, man, Talk about a wild card studio. I would classify Media Molecule as a another coin flip studio. 50% chance it could show up, 50% chance it won't. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, well, they started work on a new IP a couple of years ago. And we know that the last project Media Molecule worked on and shipped was, you know, Dreams. And that didn't work out so well. iMan93 with a $5 super chat says, I miss the PS4 days. We were so spoiled then that it always felt to me like we almost had too much to look forward to. Now it's just letdown after letdown. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, iMan. I don't share that sentiment. Although, I mean, I share the sentiment that the PS4 days, yeah, the Sony was popping off, bro. But I understand. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have that sentiment, and I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't confront me at all. Um, but I just think that if you look at the tone, I would say that the tone of how Sony treated the generation in the PS4 and the PS5, there's definitely been a tone shift. I think maybe that's what's rubbed some people the wrong way. But I mean, as for me, man, I got to be honest in that, like, I've been loving this generation, man. Just, I'm not even trying to fanboy out right now. I'm just saying, like, I've thoroughly been enjoying it. It hasn't been perfect, but I just can't help but get excited at. I don't know. Like, I just look at the games that are coming up this year, and I'm like, will there be some letdowns? Probably. Is that going to make up the majority of this year for me? Definitely not. Definitely not. So my hope for you, iMan, is that if you do tune into the state of play, I hope there's a couple things there that actually get you excited, man. And thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. Well, Garrett, yeah, I mean, dude, if I feel you on that one, bro. Media Molecule, they're not doing well right now. I mean, so I'll be honest with you, I am worried about Media Molecule in the long run because they seemingly like lost all their founders, and I just don't know where they're at as a studio. I know that they kind of put everything in Dreams. Dreams did not turn into the thing that they needed it to. Now they're kind of a shell of a studio. I guess in the back of my mind, I kind of had this vision where they're like doing well. Like they're making a new game, and it's going to be something that feels very Media Molecule. It's going to be a normal game, and it's coming together well. I don't think there's been any updates on the studio as far as I'm aware. So, maybe no news is good news, or it could be something like, you know, it could be something along the lines of they're having some kind of struggle, and it's just not coming together well. I hope it's not that, because if Media Molecule can't get a new game put together and they can't hit milestones and it's just not working, then I don't know what the future of that studio is. So, I just think Media Molecule is one of those studios where every time Sony does a state of play, it could be a surprise announcement. Here's our new game. That's what I hope for anyway. God, man, if the day ever comes where Media Molecule shuts down, it's gonna be bad, in my opinion. That's gonna be a sad day. Hopefully that won't happen though. I'm rooting for them. Next studio in line here, Naughty Dog. Could Naughty Dog show up at the state of play? Yeah. Yeah, I think Naughty Dog, considering this is a big state of play, I mean, I don't want to say like the chances are great, but out of all the studios that Sony has, and like, if you were to ask me, do I think we're going to see Intergalactic at the state of play? I would say there's a decent chance. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say definitely not. I think there's a decent chance. But with that being said, I also do feel that, well, hold on. hold on. Apparently, they did have to get a demo. Like I said, they had to make an internal demo for Sony. Maybe this is why. So actually, if that report is true that they had to crunch on making a demo to show off the game, to build up the hype, to show Sony they're making progress, I mean, if I'm Sony and I'm like, well, if I had them crunch on this demo, we may as well show it off. First gameplay demonstration of Intergalactic. It's like the last 15 minutes is an Intergalactic demo. How crazy would that be? Hopefully it's good. So yeah, I'm thinking we might see Intergalactic. What did I think of the Days Gone cancel live service? You mean Sony Benz? I think it looked like it actually had potential, and it makes me a little sad. It was a military shooter, and I'm like, cool. Third-person military shooter, possibly set in the Siphon Filter universe. I'm like, that sounds cool. But of course, what I think sounds cool in live service gets canceled, so. Dwayne, what's up, man? Music Hero, what's going on? They could repurpose that internal demo for public view. Yeah, sure, but I'm leaning towards a late May or early June trailer. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess but my whole thing though is like it's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen Intergalactic and Naughty Dog in any meaningful capacity. So I'm like, the timing kind of feels right. MBG, check your email next week. You're getting a free code for the new Styx game. Oh, thank you, Laman. If that's true, thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Luna, what's up? You want some treats? Irfin, what's this you're sending me? God of War live action series casts Calum Vinson as Atreus. Well, he kind of looks like Atreus. I can see it. What's he known for? He looks a little bit familiar. This is the kid that they're casting for Atreus in the God of War TV series. Just give me a second. So we have our Atreus now. But I'm not trying just trying to shrink it a little bit. There you go. They found their boy. Looks super young. Yeah, it looks very young. Boy. Pretty angry little boy. I'm not familiar with his work, so I don't really know what to say about it, but I'm excited. I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good. MBG, Ashong on Reset Era said he has a feeling that Corey's game gets announced this week, and Shinobi said he wouldn't be surprised. Oh, man. God, man. What do you think it... I'm just so nervous about it, man. I'm so... Because, like, there's been so much anticipation and people imagining what it could be. Like, I hope... I can't imagine that it's going to please everybody. Hey, man, Corey Barlog, though, whatever... After what he did with God of War 2018, man, whatever he wants to do, I'm going to give it a fair chance, no matter what. Even if it... I would expect it to get me excited, but even if they show me something I'm a little bit like, oh, okay, that's different, or that's not what I was expecting, I'm still going to be like, hey, man, Corey Barlog, I trust him. I trust in Corey Barlog. He earned that. He absolutely earned that. So they already know the release window. That I know. That's the crazy part. That's crazy. Like, some of these insiders literally know when this game is set to release, and I'm like, what? What the fuck? Like, what do they know? How do they know this? Irfin from 3 minutes on. What is this? I gotta be careful with YouTube videos. From 3 minutes on. You know what? Yeah, Irfin, I can't play this now. This will get an immediate copyright, but I'm going to keep this up and I'm going to check it out when my stream's done. So I can get an idea of the acting chops of this kid. Thank you, Irfin. 8 years to develop a single game is still wild. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's got to be good. It's got to be big. Hold on one second, guys. We're going to continue talking about the studios. What am I looking at here? Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. All right. What other studios do we have here? We have so after Naughty Dog, Nixus Software. I think Nixus will definitely show up. You know, their support studio. There's probably going to be at least one PC port here, maybe more. So I would assume they show up. Polyphony Digital, I don't think they're going to show up. They've still been updating so much of GT7. They talked about GT7 in the last state of play for Japan. So I'm going to say, boss, get out. Get out. Come on. Go. I don't know why you do that to my PC. Sometimes I think boss is trying to turn my computer off, man. All right. One game you're very concerned with is Project Awakening. Yeah, I think that game just might be vaporware, dude. Robert, you like the hoodie? Thank you, man. Yeah, Mrs. MBG got me this as a Valentine's Day gift, early Valentine's Day gift. I really like it too. It's my new favorite hoodie. Luna, come here. Where you going? You don't? Okay, she doesn't want the rest of the treats. Who's next here? San Diego Studio. San Diego Studio, I'm going to say they probably won't show up, but if they do, it'll just be a really short trailer just saying, here's MLB The Show. It's coming next month. Please be excited. Nothing significant. Next up, Santa Monica. We talked about them. Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch, guaranteed. Sucker Punch will 100% be at the state of play with Ghost of Yotei Legends. So Ghost of Yotei Legends is probably going to get a release date. They might even shadow drop it. Ryan, you're asking about Starfield. Shinobi 602 confirmed we're not hearing about Starfield for PS5 until next month. So, by the way, the state of play isn't tomorrow either. State of play is Thursday. Oh, okay. So apparently, Insomniac has a hidden video on their YouTube channel. Wolverine release date trailer. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei Legends, I think, is a guarantee. Team Asobi, I mean, look, man, I think Sony would have Team Asobi show up every time if they could, but I don't think it's time. Venom, no, I don't think it's going to be Venom from Insomniac. Venom, I'm pretty sure is a reveal for next year for the PS6. It's a PlayStation YouTube channel playlist for Wolverine. So Team Asobi, I'm going to say no. Another live service studio that could show up, by the way. It's a new one, and I don't know that it's going to be a game we get excited for, but there's a first-party studio called Team LFG, and they were working on the project known as Gummy Bears. And Sony took them from Bungie, gave them their own PlayStation studio called Team LFG. It's called Team Looking for Group, not the other one. That's another random live service game that could show up. Now, when it comes to Bungie, yes, Bungie will show up with Marathon 100%. And then I think Marvel Tokon. But yeah, outside of that, man, I feel like it's a total wild card at this point. But hopefully that gives you some kind of idea, when it comes to the entirety of PlayStation Studios, like what's likely or not likely to show up. I'm really starting to think that Cory Barlog's game is going to get revealed. Really starting to think that because we got we got movement, there's some movement that seems to be happening. And again, I don't want to overhype anything, but the timing feels right. The game's been in development for over half a decade, man. It's been like 7 years or something. So how crazy would it be, though? How crazy would it be if they announce this game and announce a release date with it? How fucking nuts would that be? I'm only saying because to me, the craziest thing is Shinobi 602 saying, like, considering the release window, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, dude, this game is almost done. Like, they know when they're going to be releasing it. Dark Cloud, why are you so negative, man? Another 45 minutes of our time wasted by Sony. It's up to Xbox now to save gaming, bro. I can't even tell if that's real or a troll. Like, that can't be real. Dark Cloud, that can't be real. Late 2027? It sounds about right. I mean, what? Like, Intergalactic is targeting mid 2027? Like a summer 2027? Devil May Cry 6 is a big one that people are losing their minds over. Let me go check on that tweet, by the way. Where's that tweet of mine? Oh, no. My tweet about GTA 6 is exploding. 1.7 million views for the Devil May Cry 6. Oh. I mean, that's good for my Twitter, but bro, what? 1.7 million views? Okay. I had no idea there was that much hype for DMC6, man. Will there be Xbox games shown? I don't think so. I'm not anticipating it. You know why that tweet took off? Because we DMC fans are dying for a new game. It's been 7 fucking years. Yeah, the DMC fan base is starving. If I wasn't aware before, I am now. Capcom, what are you doing? Feed these guys. Excuse me. Feed them like I feed boss. Can we ban Chris Brown as a live sacrifice for the state of play? He's lived a good life on this channel. I'm going to say no, Gaming Survivor. I feel like that has a bad aura around it. That's like some bad juju, Like, I feel like it could go in the opposite direction where it's like, well, now you've just doomed the state of play. Chris was the one. He was the chosen one. He was the one that needed to stay alive. I'm about to sacrifice Dark Cloud, though, bro. I'm just kidding. I'm not sacrificing it. You know who I might sacrifice? I'm about to sacrifice Richrod. There we go. Sony, you can have him. I give you Richrod. He's just straight up like, wow. Rude. Why would Capcom announce DMC6 right now? They have so many games coming. RE9, Pragmata, Onimusha. If DMC6 is real, they can wait until Summer Game Fest. You know what, Irfan? Give me 1 second. I'm going to go. That's a great question. I'm going to go figure that one out. I'll be right back. I should have an answer for you. Sorry about that. Thank you for waiting patiently. Yeah, so I just talked to Capcom, and they had a message they told me to deliver to all DMC fans, and it was, hold on. They said, fuck a you. That's what they said. That's what they said. So I'm sorry. I tried. Concord was in the chat. You missed him? I was like, Nani? Josh, we got Josh Nuggets in the chat. Josh, is that an actual picture of you? Is that a real picture of Josh Nuggets? He looks exactly like I expected. He looks like somebody I used to know, named Josh, for real. Oh my God, is it him? No, there's a slight difference. This man still needs a membership, damn it. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Is that like a YouTuber or something? We need a member train. Who said Concord was in the chat? What does that even mean? No, I haven't played DMC 5. I missed the boat on that one. He's Leon Kennedy? Wait, really? Holy shit, he is. How the fuck did I not know that? I literally have a soundbite of this man, and I don't even know who he is.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
I literally have this man's voice tethered to my keyboard on my YouTube channel, and I didn't even know his name. I couldn't be more disappointed in myself, bro. Shame me with memberships. Dark Cloud, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get it. How are you a member? Every time a pony port begs for Xbox games, they clap their heels 3 times. You're damn right. We're clicking them 3 times, and you know what we're getting? Fucking Halo, Gears, Forza, and Fable, son. Eat it. Fucking eat it. So you know, we're gonna keep clicking. We're going to keep clicking our hooves, clapping our hooves, whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't know how you want to say it. In the same fucking year, son. Oh, man. Ah, there he is. I knew he would show up. I knew he was going to show up. Armani, bro, listen. I appreciate your profile picture, but you got to promise me when we finally see Rise of Hydra again, you got to change your picture. I want to see your picture of just like a zoomed in Captain America or some shit. All right. He says, I can't wait for the state of play. If I finally get Rise of Hydra, I'm going to be happy. Well, I'll be honest, man. Knowing this state of play is so long. Armani Pepsi Coleman. Yeah. Knowing the state of play is going to be so long, man, you might get it. Like, I don't want to overhype you, you know? Because I still feel ultimately like that's a game that's going to show up at Summer Game Fest. But it's a long show, dude. And there's going to be a lot of third parties, so this guy is a convincing Pepsi psyop. I know, right? Like, he makes me want Pepsi subconsciously. What's going on, man? YouTube is a crazy place. Coke is better. He'll die on that hill. I got to make sure I'm hydrating, man. I think I'm very dehydrated. Did you know if you're very dehydrated, you can start feeling hungry and you're not actually really hungry? Like your body doesn't necessarily want food. You're dehydrated. It wants liquid. Well, a lot of times hydration comes through eating food. You get the majority of your water. Unless you're like, if you're drinking extra water, this isn't true, but most of your water intake comes from food, man. So it kind of makes sense that your body would be hungry because the thing is, like, you're getting the water, but you're also getting the electrolytes. And the electrolytes is what's really important. That's why if you just drink plain water, like drink 8 glasses of plain water, like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That will just throw your electrolytes out of whack and actually probably make you more dehydrated. Not to mention that's a lot on your kidneys, man. Helldiver's YouTube channel. Biology. Oh my God. Why did I just sound like that? There's a demon trying to escape right now. Biology MBG, goddamn. Shadowlink says, MBG, what are you trying to say? What you are trying to say is your body can't tell between being hungry or thirsty. I mean, basically, no. And also, Shadowlink, what's up? Basically, no. Your brain sometimes doesn't know the difference. I don't know. The fuck do I know, bro? Actually, I know a lot. You'd be surprised what you can learn from Mr. MBG. Wait, why do I gotta check the YouTube channel? Sounded like a demon. Yeah. Biology. I can't recreate that sound. It was like a bubble in the back of my throat as I was talking, and it like created this insanely like creepy fucking voice. Am I checking the PlayStation YouTube channel? Helldiver's YouTube channel. Why? Return of the Cyborgs deep dive? Oh, they're doing stuff. Man, I don't care about no Helldivers. That's old news. I'll check it out in a little while. I'll check it out at the end of the stream. Armani Pepsi Coleman says, knowing we might see it, I can't wait. We'll probably see Captain America just demolishing enemies and Black Panther doing his acrobatic fights. Hell yeah. Armani's hype. Acrobatic. Combat. I want to see a triple backflip. Fucking roundhouse. I don't know if that's a thing, but something. Oh, God. Rich, do you not understand? I get upset when I see that in the chat. You upset me. That time we were hanging out in that shady bar in Trenton, and that yuppie from Princeton said Xbox better, and you broke his jaw. That's how I'm gonna slap Alex. Bro, you can't be. No, you're not. You're not. You're not slapping no one, Rich. God damn, bro. This man is a cop. Imagine what he's doing to people out there. Rich, you're scaring me. No violence. What? What? I I need to learn to wait, what? I'm very stupid. I'm sorry. For some reason I can't. Oh. Okay. No, so Mrs. MBG, I'm sorry. It's because on my YouTube, on my actual YouTube screen, I have everything blown up larger, so it's easier to read the text. And I was like scrolling back way too far. She said, backwards Thomas the Train to summon the 50 pack. That's what the demon said. The demons are telling me to do it again. I don't know, man. How many freaking copyrights am I gonna get? Easy Tone says, oh, an obvious one. Yote Legends tomorrow. Yes. Easy Tone, I agree 100%. Richrod just serves justice. Blue justice. Oh, man. Blue vengeance. You like the lemon lime Gatorade best, Mrs. M. Yeah, that is your favorite. I'm not a fan. It's okay. It's okay. I think grape. Grape's pretty good. I meant Thursday. Used to SOP being the next day. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's a couple days in advance here, so that's a good sign. Orange Gatorade. I think orange Gatorade is okay. What's like the what's that one Gatorade? It's not just grape. It's like a darker looking grape. I don't know. I forget what it's called, but that one's really good. Talk about Gatorade, man. These Xbox out here acting like Waterboy in Adam Sandler movie. My mama said. How does he do his voice? What's the Waterboy voice? I'm not even gonna try it because I don't think I remember it correctly. I'm just gonna end up doing Mike Tyson again. Hold on. I can't play that either, bro. Like, I'm gonna get so many copyrights. I need to chill. Is Powerade still a thing? That one's mixed with prunes. Dark Cloud says port begging is not our style on Xbox. We received the best version of every Xbox game. It's up to you sad ponies to cry for games. You know what, Dark Cloud? Sell your Xbox. Sell it. You know what? Don't even sell it. Don't even sell it. It ain't worth nothing. Get a hammer. A large hammer. Hell, maybe if you want to take it up a notch, a fucking sledgehammer. You take that shit out in your driveway and you just pound, bro. You just fucking pound that Xbox. And when it's nothing but just broken pieces and broken dreams lying on your driveway, Get in your car, back up, put it in, forward again, back up, run it over a couple times, just for good measure. But you go to your nearest Walmart, GameStop, I don't care, and you buy a PS5 Pro, okay, with a disc drive. And then you buy at least 5 games. 2 of them got to be Microsoft games. Thank me later. Thank me later, Dark Cloud. Did I show them my new dumbbells? Not yet. Not yet. I'm actually very afraid to bring them over here because they're very large. They're very, very large. But I will at some point. Hey, if we hit 50 members, I'll bring my new I'll bring my new dumbbells over. My Xbox is worth thousands of dollars. You can't even buy it on the market anymore. Clark, tell him. If you have an Xbox Series X and S in your home, I know that. God, I love how Gaming Survivor, like, he's not even joking. Gaming Survivor isn't even joking. He's like, I know you are an uninformed customer with zero taste. You piece of shit. I'm not laughing, and I'm not joking. Fuck you. Gaming Survivor still in these trenches, bro. Him and Richrod in the trenches still. Still, just, they're digging. Deathloop on Xbox had that exclusive third-person mode where the guy was wearing booty shorts. What? Oh, I didn't know that, man. Shit, yeah, that's what a great exclusive. Oh, wasn't Deathloop on Xbox inferior? Guys, are we getting another member train going or what? Save it for Thursday. Oh my God. Wait, what? Biology. Oh my God. Dude, why did I sound like that? That's crazy. Irfan actually clipped it. Biology. Biology. That was a demon trying to come out, dude. For real. That sounds like a demon. It's like 4th place. I like being dominated by Next Playground. That's what owning an Xbox says about you. I like when Next Playground chokes me. Guys, I've run out of topics, so just me in the chat now. Just me in the chat now. The fact that the Next Playground is just some kind of like family-friendly little cube. What's wrong with us, man? All right. God of War is trending. Why is God of War? Oh, because of the murderer laments missing GTA 6 in body cam after killing ex-partner. Bro, what the fuck? Robert Richins, 35 years old of Oxford, brutally killed his ex-partner, Rachel Vaughn, in her home on May 30th, 2025 during a violent assault fueled by jealousy. I don't know if I can read these next parts because they're extremely graphic. Body cam footage from his arrest captured him sobbing about getting life in prison and missing GTA 6. What a bitch. What a pussy-ass bitch, dude. Yeah, that's right. You are going to miss GTA 6. You're going to rot. Bitch. Anyway. Why am I, dude? Okay, now, see, now I'm getting, now I'm getting on like Richrod's level. That's crazy though, man. That's sad. I'm not gonna lie, when I clicked that, I thought it was like kind of a joke or something, or because it sounded ridiculous. But no, it's just a really sad story. Imagine that, dude. Like, imagine committing some kind of horrific crime like that, and then being like, but GTA 6, like, dude, planet would be better off without people like this, you know? All right, let's shift gears here though, because it got really fucking dark, and I did not expect it to get that dark. What if he's not innocent, Garrett. Like, apparently there's like footage. Like, he just straight up just, it's pretty bad. God, this is the weird thing about Twitter, man. So you never know where you're gonna. I mean, I know it was trending for me because it had something to do with GTA 6, but I'm like, that's not all right. Yeah, he took GTA to the next level, man. All right. I'm over on the official PlayStation Twitter for the announcement of the state of play. I'm checking to see what the vibe is. So he says 60 plus minutes of new indie games, PS1 remakes, and VR2. So he says 60 effing minutes. That's a whole showcase, bruv. Wait, 60 plus minutes? These shows are never that long. Are you cooking? Devil May Cry, Marvel Tokon, Splinter Cell remake, Daredevil and Wolverine plus new gameplay. Oh man, okay. Gamers begging for a Bloodborne remaster. Sony, how about this new Horizon game no one asked for? Okay. Please stop gatekeeping Bloodborne. Absolute Gaming. Kratos is coming back. Fall for it again award. People after Sony didn't announce anything good yet. Dude, you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. You're not. You don't play video games. I'm triggered. That post triggered me. You don't play video games. What do you mean? What do you mean they didn't announce anything good? What? You don't want to play Soros? You don't care about Wolverine? You're probably the same person that's like sitting here saying this shit, and you like, dude, they probably don't even have a PlayStation. I fucking guarantee it. I guarantee they don't have a PlayStation. Like, dude, come on, man. This is how I was like being gaslit to oblivion at the last State of Play. Where like that was mid. I'm like, speak for your fucking self, bro. That looked fucking incredible. Because you know what the sad part is? Prior to the State of Play, it's oh, well, you know, when they show Wolverine, he's gonna be like a little pussy. He's gonna be like some little baby Wolverine. No gore or violence. And they like Insomniac cooks like the most violent, vicious trailer ever where he's like slicing people's heads off and ripping them in half and stuff. And I'm like, what now? And they're like, well, that was just wasn't a very good show. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. It's always the same with these people, man. Nothing in it. See, this is why sometimes I feel like I get grouped in with some of these people. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I'm not going to tell you Sony's perfect, but I'm not like that. Because that's just not true either. That's just nonsense. I will say that, okay. Who's ready for 59 minutes of the new Horizon Hero Shooter gameplay with a AI slop version of obese Aloy as a picture? Okay. Twitter's great. Twitter's where I get all my news and how I determine what reality is actually like. I should show that picture. I'm not showing that picture. You think the State of Play will be like the one from June 2023? That one was pretty good. I predict it'll actually be better, maybe. Imagine them announcing the handheld here. It's too soon. It's too soon, man. I get it. But it's too soon. I think they're going to announce the OLED PlayStation Portal. I predict I'll be walking away watching the Sony. You said the Snoy. The Snoy State of Yawn again. Feeling betrayed. Could you imagine, what if it is bad, though? No, come on, man. If I'm being like realistic about it, though, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being any one which way. I don't think I said that wrong. One which way. If I'm not being one way or the other, I just think it feels like Sony would actually have to really kind of go above and beyond to make this a bad show, especially it being 60 plus minutes, where they have multiple things they can show off. There's multiple things that we know for a fact will be there, and they have the strongest third-party support they've ever had in the history of PlayStation. It's just like, how could this not be a good show? And, I want to talk about this as well for a moment. What's up with people acting like the only reason people play on the PlayStation console is to just play Sony games? I don't appreciate that. I say that as somebody who does play almost all of the Sony games. But this is where I think it just goes to show, I think people will find any angle they can to try to diminish people's, like, to make things seem worse than they really are. Where it's like, this is why I said earlier in my stream, if you're an enjoyer of video games, if you like to play video games and they bring you some kind of joy or fulfillment or anything, there's absolutely no reason you should ever tune into an hour-long video game show and not have some things that got you excited. The only time I think it's fair to truly complain is if you're watching like a 2.5 or 3 hour show, and even if you saw some stuff you liked, it's like, well, that show was way too long. But I just feel like people, I don't know, man. It's just weird. I've been dealing with this type of take the entire gen, and I don't really take it that seriously. It's just sometimes it makes for interesting conversation, if not interesting, just conversation in general, where it's like, if I were to run down all of the games I played this generation on PS5, there's like a very healthy mix of first party and third party, and probably some certainly second party games in there. Yeah, dude. See, Mr. B, exactly. I know I haven't been talking about it much because it's not a game I'm personally playing, but you're saying Neo 3 was announced last summer at a state of play. Now it's one of the best games I played this generation. But you know what, Mr. B? That doesn't count for reason X, Y, and Z. It doesn't count. It's not God of War. It's not Bloodborne Remake. It's not GTA 6. It's not the biggest, most popular third-party game, so it doesn't count. But that's the reality, man, is that if you look at the review scores of Neo 3 and what I've been hearing from people who are playing it, like, this is a fucking banger, apparently. This is a great game. And yeah, it was revealed at the last, I don't know if it was revealed at the last state of play, but I know it showed up at the last one and maybe the one before that. And when you get people walking away being like, that sucked, it's like, I'm not saying people can't have that opinion, but I just think there needs to be a level of awareness where it's like, if there's like 20 to 30 games shown in total, which maybe I don't know if that's like too much, but just a lot of games, like, have some level of awareness that like a lot of people probably enjoyed many different games here. That's why I always tell people, where it's like, if you walk away from shows and you didn't like anything, you have to reevaluate. You have to reevaluate what gaming is to you and how into it you are. And I think one of the things that some people maybe struggle to come to terms with, I think there's two things. Number one is I think that they have grown out of gaming. and they're just not as, they just don't like playing video games as much as they once did. But it's, they haven't really come to that, they can't remove themselves from it. You know what I mean? Where they still want to, they want to be involved. It's kind of sad in a sense where it's like they want to be part of it, but they don't really feel anything for it anymore. You know, or maybe they're upset or angry because they don't feel anything for it anymore. The second thing, though, and I think this might be a little bit more common, is people struggle to grapple with the fact that you only like a very specific type of game. And that's fine. Like, there's no rule against that. But it's like if you go into a state of play or any type of showcase, and it's like if that one specific type of game doesn't show up, then it was a bust. It's like, dude, I mean, come on. Like, what you should be saying is, for me, it was a bust because I only like to play one or two very specific types of games. Paul, you're saying, what about PSSR 2 for Pro? We did talk about that a little bit earlier. I do think that's a possibility of showing up. I think that when we talk about the show being over an hour long, we talk about it being 60 plus minutes. We've gotten multiple reports that it's launching in Q1 2026. This February state of play is smack dab in the middle of Q1. I think there's a chance it'll get announced, and that'd be awesome. Mark Cerny's like, I got you, bro. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that Ms. Biz. Maybe that could show up. Will, is this the first you're hearing of it?
No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time.
Sony, when a Bloodborne PC port is announced at the Game Awards,
Pure fiction. It's fiction.
is not announced. Made it up. That's true, though. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they closed the show and were like, we got one more thing, and it's Bloodborne? Will, you're just hyped. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, it's funny because some people on Twitter today were saying, like, bro, I think you need to lower your expectations. Haven't you been burned before? And I'm like, come on, man. Like, the times that I've been burned, everybody was burned, not just me. The last time I was truly burned by a state of play, I mean, or not even a state of play, but I mean really burned, where I was crashing out for like weeks, was the 2023 showcase. The last time before that, or the time after, I should say, I think it was the state of play where Sony ended. It was like the middle of, was it last year or 2024? I think it was last year, right? I'm losing track of these things, man. But the last time I really crashed out and felt disappointed in a PlayStation state of play, it was the Marvel ToeCon one where, you know, that's not what I was expecting the final big game reveal to be, because and, you know, I did feel really kind of, I felt let down by that, because I'm like, damn, man, like I wanted, you know, I became that guy where I'm like, I wanted the game I want, you know? But I acknowledged, you know, afterwards, I'm like, yeah, you know, people are super hyped for this game, and just because it's not for me doesn't mean it wasn't a good show. But I was just in the moment reacting to like, damn, like I'm not feeling this right now. Like where's this or where's that, you know? But outside of that, man, I feel like I haven't really been overhyping or crashing out too much for these shows. And I don't think anybody could blame me for getting excited for this one, you know? Uh-oh. We got another one from Gaming Survivor. Maybe. We'll see. I'm starting to fade a little bit. I'm trying to where are we at? So I started a little bit late today. I'll keep streaming. My hope is we can get another member train going before we wrap up, though. But I don't know if we will or not. We did hit the first main goal. Where are we at? I think we're at 27. We'll see how many more we can get before we wrap up today's show. I never forgot the moment when the 2023 showcase ended and you were crashing out with the MGS cosplay. That was bad. That was bad, man. Yeah, that was a really really strange feeling because I just couldn't like believe. I'm like, how is this possible? Like, how is it possible that Sony had a bad showcase, man? Like this bad. It just didn't feel real. But it was just like, yeah, man, they really messed this one up, bro. It killed the showcase format, seemingly. Dwayne, no, I'm sorry, man. I've been all over the place these days. I really have been. It's been quite chaotic in the household the past week or so. I'm just trying to make sure I don't I don't know. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything significant that's happening in gaming right now because I can tell like things are starting to heat up a little bit, especially now with the state of play. Mark starting to need some of that. You hope we get a state of play that was on the level of E3 2015. Did Richrod send another direct donation? Rich, I swear to God, I'm going to increase the minimum donation amount. I'm going to do it. I'll make it $5 minimum. I'm going to do it. Like, he can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep making me say this heinous stuff without paying more. Rich, you drop 5 memberships right now. I'm not asking. Your money's good. Your money is good, Rich. I appreciate it. I do. But God damn it. God damn it, bro. You're saying first episode of MBG After Hours. I will have Gaming Survivor, oh God, as my co-host. We will begin the extermination process of ridding the world of X-bots. Phil might want to join you on that one, bro. Phil's part of that. Hell yeah. Phil's part of the extermination squad. He's going to defect. Uh-oh. Gaming Survivor just might be on board with that. Richrod says that's rude. Robert likes the sound of that. You should have sold your PS5, unknown. FF7, The Last Guardian, and Horizon trailer. That was a good E3. Well, I'm very curious to see how big this show is going to be. I mean, in terms of length, it's clearly going to be large, but I don't know, man. I think Sony understands. Like, Sony's not stupid. I don't think they are. Sony knows that if they announce a show that's going to be over an hour long, people are very much going to focus on that and be like, well, that's different. And I can't imagine they would do that without good reason, without good cause. You notice how they all bring up the state of plays that you didn't like and not the several you did. Well, yeah, that's the thing, right, MacTube? I've been dealing with that this entire gen where it's like it's just frustrating, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way the internet has evolved, or maybe it's just the way society feels right now. But it's like, yeah, man, you could be right about 8 things, wrong about 2, and the only thing that some people are going to want to focus on over and over and over and over again is the 2 things you were wrong about, and forget everything that you were right about. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are aware that like things aren't just ever one way. Nothing in life is that simple, and it's people who deal in black and white, and that's all they deal in. Everything's got to be black and white. There's no room for nuance of any kind, even though that's like 99% of what life is. But yeah, all right, where are we at time-wise? All right, so we're approaching the 3 hour and 15-minute mark for the stream. We'll go for 15 more minutes. We're just going to hang out in that time. And I want to encourage you guys to, once again, make sure you hit that like button. When we are done here today, I did put out a video. You can go check that out if you haven't, where I basically condense everything I talked about in today's stream in an 11-minute video for those who, want more content. Or maybe if you missed a good chunk of the stream, I mean, you can come back and watch the entire stream. I appreciate that. That helps. But if you ever keep in mind, if you ever miss extended portions of the stream, I know a lot of people, they'll just watch the whole thing through, but my videos are always there too. There's a really good chance that whatever video I released that day probably covered it as well. But really, in a really condensed manner. You're pretty effing excited after reading that PlayStation blog, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think you should. I'm telling you, man, I've read many PlayStation blog posts for State of Plays, and I think this is one that I think you're okay to get excited. I think Sony's signaling you can get excited. You watch the whole thing at 1.75 to 2 times speed. Pushing polygons, is that true? There's no way that's true. Is it? That's kind of crazy. I don't know what you did with your channel, but over the past few days when you haven't had members only content, your stream views have actually gone up. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Well, see, that's why I said, Irfan, I have to figure out, and it's like an impossible thing to figure out, if members content basically doesn't matter on the channel. That's a really difficult thing to gauge. And what I mean by that is, it's like every person that is a channel member or gifts memberships, it really has nothing to do with members content. It has to do with supporting the channel. And that's it. I wonder this because, dude, yeah, I told you I was doing that experiment with the member content or the member drops, and then going into a member stream. And dude, the data was like, this is going to literally end your channel in the next 3 months. I'm like, oh. But, I have this random members content, and I don't know. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, YouTube is the only one that does this. They're the only one. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me, but I got to figure it out. I got to figure out if it's actually something that's worth pursuing or not. I mean, I always feel kind of obligated, obviously, where it's people who are paying members, especially people who, are gifting memberships. I don't know if it would be better to just treat it as, just be excited about it because it's fan funding, and that is what is allowing everything here to work in tandem. It's what's allowing me to make the videos. It's what's allowing me to do the streams, and without it, it wouldn't be possible. I don't know if that would just be enough, or if there is for example, if I were to say, hey, I have to pull the plug on members content because it's hurting the channel ultimately. But then if that causes some kind of cascading effect where it's well, now I'm not going to be a member because I wanted the members content. I don't know. That's the thing, is that I'm kind of in this awkward position. The only thing I do know is that anytime, and this is kind of the tough part about it, is YouTube kind of puts me in this position, the way they run things here, where because of how important it is to keep up with the algorithm, so on and so forth, things are constantly changing. They put me in this position where it's anytime I choose to do members content, I'm actively choosing to basically hurt the overall potential of my channel. And that's why it's really hard. That's why I really needed to see okay, what happens if I lean all the way? I know what it's like to lean partially into members content. What would it be like to lean all the way into it? And it was, I kind of enjoyed one aspect of it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed the member drop thing. That was kind of fun. And I think some of you guys were enjoying that too, where it was just kind of like a rallying, you know, and people, it created like a certain energy, and that was nice. But then, but then some people will get very upset because it's like, okay, well, now I'm leaving. So I'm like wondering if maybe I could just blend these things and get the best of all worlds here for everybody, where it's like we can still do that, rally the community a little bit, separate that from like, now we're just going to have like concise conversations. I don't know. I don't want to overthink it, but all I know is that in terms of trying to grow the channel, every day when I'm choosing to whether make videos, do streams, anytime I choose to take off, you know, there's a risk associated with it. That's just the nature of the beast, man. And throwing in members content, it really starts to make things kind of chaotic and messy sometimes. But again, I feel bad because like, I always feel like I want to do something for my members. When is the next day I'm streaming? And what time on Thursday are you going live? I'll probably, my hope is as long as I'm feeling up to it, I'll stream tomorrow, I'll stream Wednesday. And in terms of when I'm going live on Thursday, I haven't decided yet. End of stream member drops? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. We could maybe try. I don't know, because I kind of had fun with that. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty funny. No, it wasn't just fun. I mean, people got silly with it, but it was just cool. I feel like it created a vibe. Maybe we could do something like that towards the end of streams. It wouldn't be such a bad idea, like a last minute, a stream closer member drop or something, where I play that music and stress Irfan out. Literally this time 2 weeks ago, we had less than 90 viewers on the stream. It's now over 180. Well, I mean, that's what I mean, man. I did notice that too. Like, one of the main reasons it was killing the channel was because, and I had to experiment to see like what would happen is people who were coming into the member drop streams, they realized like, well, they're not getting what it is they necessarily subscribed for, which is they want to hear me talk about the games and talk about the topics. I was still talking about it a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a half in, half out type thing. No, Rich, my members absolutely matter. I would never say F my members. My members are awesome. They really are. I appreciate it. I know I say that a lot, but I mean, I do really try to emphasize to people that like for people who listen, people who receive member gifts, the hope is ultimately that they continue to pay for a membership if they can afford it. And what they're basically saying is like, yeah, I want to like basically have a monthly subscription to your channel to support what you do. And that matters so much, man. Like that helps so much. And so every time people, like when people gift memberships, whether it be like 5, 10, or large quantities, obviously that helps tremendously. But there's like, it has 2 times the benefit. Not only is it just like funding the channel directly, but every person who gets gifted, it's an opportunity for them to like, hey, when your membership is up, if you want, consider renewing it. And people have. And I've really appreciated that. I've seen that more and more, which is great. And that, that is literally what I rely on to do everything here. And I'm grateful for it. But it can be a bit anxiety. I'm not going to lie, doing this solo and running everything myself and never really knowing what to expect. It's why I was like, I don't know if I conveyed it, but when I was doing that like member thing the other week, I was nervous as shit. I'm like, I don't know, man, this might be like one of the biggest mistakes I ever make on my channel. But it was bothering me. And I'm like, I need to get the data. I need to see what's going to happen and it'll help me. And it did help me a lot, but it's always nerve wracking, Yeah, that's so Irfan, that's a whole nother beast of a problem, dude. You're saying the only negative thing is we're stuck at 101K. We can grow if we walk in a straight path and don't change the format. That's true. I've been a bit all over the place. I could be more consistent, but you know what the real thing is, Irfan? More than anything, bro. And trust me, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. And I was just thinking about this yesterday. Having a channel where I'm trying to regularly upload video content and do regular daily streams simultaneously, I look over the data, and do you know what the data says? The data and the analytics basically say you got 50, like, let's say over the course of like 2 weeks or like a week and a half, you got plus 50 subscribers. You lost 50 subscribers. It cancels each other out, man, because I know what's happening. Basically, I put a video out there. It gets picked up by the algorithm a little bit. Some videos really don't do well. Others maybe get to 10K, sometimes maybe 15, sometimes even 20. And especially those videos that get to 20K or beyond on rare occasion, they bring in a lot of new subs. And if you know how YouTube works and how people's behavior on YouTube works, people really only want one, maybe two things at most from a YouTuber they subscribe to. You have to, quote unquote, stay in your lane. And what people do is they'll subscribe to my channel because they come across a news video and they're like, I like this. This is cool, news video, concise, going over different topics. And then they'll subscribe and then they'll see me live. They'll be like, oh, I didn't know they were a streamer too. And then they'll see me live over and over and over again. And I'm just always popping up and they're like, okay, like I thought I was just going to get like weekly videos or daily short news videos. I didn't subscribe for all this, but that's like the problem, right? Is I can't really. Oh, pushing polygons. You're asking if I can stream gameplay for members. I mean, I would like to. I have to think about it because I did that. I mean, we did that last year a little bit, and some of it worked out pretty well. But I was having a hard time last year too because I'm like, I was doing like I was doing one that was like members only, and then I was doing one that wasn't. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with members stuff on the channel, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's so overwhelming because it's like there's so many. I'm already having a problem trying to convince people who stumble upon my channel from video content to not unsubscribe because I also stream on the channel, And then it's like, oh, and then I got this whole members thing going on. So it's almost like I'm running 3 channels in one. And I don't really know that it's possible to separate any of it. There's a video hidden under Insomniac's Wolverine playlist, by the way. Yeah, we did catch that. We did catch that MRPD. I'm thinking we might be getting a release date trailer for Wolverine. Look at my channel. I have maybe 5 or 6 videos. One of them is nearly 500K views. The time you upload matters a lot, like Saturday and Sunday. Damn, Irfan, I didn't even realize you had videos on your channel. What? Yo, Irfan's a famous YouTuber this whole time? No, you're definitely right about that. Timing is everything. You could become an evening streaming channel so I can watch you after work. Yeah, I'm selfish. I've thought about that too. Not going full evening streams, but trying to incorporate more evening streams. That's really tough for me though, because like I'm so used to streaming at a certain time that like I'm always afraid that my energy is just going to be totally different. Like basically by the time the evening comes, it's like I don't want to stream like that. This isn't when I stream like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all discombobulated. That's not my routine. But I do so on rare occasion when I have to. Irfan's plugging himself here. What is this? Oh, God of War Ragnarok main theme. 462,000 views. Damn, bro. You were like the first on it. MBG, your issues with this has me evaluating how I'm getting back up my brand stuff for YouTube going forward. or how I'm setting back up my brand stuff on YouTube going forward. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I can tell you right now that the greatest change in terms of growth on my channel occurred when I decided to embrace streaming more than once a week. That was when everything changed. For there was positives and there was negatives. The positives were much more engagement, um, more fan funding, which has gotten to a point where that's absolutely necessary to run the channel now. The biggest downside is like for people who wonder like why haven't you grown? It's like, dude, I don't want to just blame streaming because that's not fair. It's also because I mean, I'm sure you guys have noticed like the YouTube game is played a little bit differently now. A little bit differently, especially with all the AI shit. It's just I'm not I'm not taking a holier than thou stance here because I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but there are certain ways in which I could lean into things that I purposely go out of my way not to because I I mean, let's just face it, man, a lot of it I'm just going to put it bluntly. YouTube practically encourages the grift, as does pretty much all other social media. And it's because these algorithms and these companies that fine tune these algorithms, they've realized like the grift is to ultimately prey on people's emotions. And if you can make that happen in a very, perhaps entertaining way, it proves to be a potent combination. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that like for me, I struggle ever going in that direction because I'm like, it's kind of like choosing the bed you're going to make and then sleeping in it, where it's like, I don't want to go in that direction because that's like, it's going to change my channel. It will bring new people on board, but the people that I'm bringing on board, I might not necessarily want here, if that makes sense. Where like, obviously everybody's welcome, but I don't want to like build up a new audience. And then it's like, yeah, guys, I actually don't like doing this. I'm going to go back to the way I did things. And then I just lose that new audience. You got to be careful with this type of stuff because, it's just the name of the game, man, where once you do have an audience, you have two options: serve that audience or don't. And one will retain the audience, the other will cause them to leave. And if you cause your audience to leave, then you're starting right back from square one again. And then you have to find a new one. And that's the thing, man, is I've been accused on this channel many times of like, you're doing like the PlayStation grift or whatever. And I don't take that personally, or like, it doesn't actually upset me, but it's like, no, it's genuinely not a grift. Like if this was about grifting, believe me when I tell you, I'd be all over the place in other areas right now because I know where the money can be made, like the big money, so to speak. I think a lot of people know that, but it's just like, yeah, I'm good. Like my heart's not in that, and I don't give a shit about that, whatever that is. You know what I mean? If it ever crosses paths with me, and it's like, well, these two things are intersecting, then sure, that makes sense. It's all about the Benjamins. Indeed it is. Mr. Veg, I mean, yeah, Reddit is kind of crazy sometimes. Ghetto God says, get some fucking sponsors. My guy just got 2 sponsors last week, and his ads are like 15 seconds long. Get a food sponsor for healthy food. 15 seconds? Shit, man. Dude, you know what? You might be right, though, Ghetto God, because you know what? I saw recently that YouTube implemented this feature, which it makes me question what's going on with these sponsors. Where, like, do they know about this? YouTube has this feature where once you click the box that you're doing a sponsorship and, and somebody's watching the video, once the sponsorship starts, if you just click fast forward just once, it literally has like a segment, like it's timestamped, and it just automatically skips over. And I'm like, I'm just saying, man, if I was these sponsors, I'm like, bro, what are you paying for here? Like, no one's watching these sponsorships. No one. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying that out loud in case I get sponsorships. I mean, you know what, though? Maybe they are. Maybe it's just me. I just think it's kind of crazy that YouTube implemented that feature where it's like, we're going to make it, and I appreciate it, where it's like, we're going to make it as easy as humanly possible for you to just, and we're skipping over it. It's almost like it's not even there. Like, that's kind of cool. But if I was like a company trying to, get exposure, I'm like, well, that feels like that's hurting us a lot. I don't know. Being nice doesn't bring food to the table, sadly. Yeah, sometimes you're right. I think you're one of the most honest gaming YouTubers, which is what I enjoy about the channel. Well, I appreciate that, Mr. B. That's all I can offer. You know what I mean? That's all I can offer. MBG, at least accept the Xbox gift money, for fuck's sake. No. I refuse. MBG, you're authentic. That's why you stand out. Well, I appreciate the kind words, guys. Yeah, and I don't do it for the praise or anything like that. It's not I do it because, I mean, honestly, like, dude, I feel really grateful that I'm able to run my channel the way I want to. And I mean that. And that's why I always, I mean, even though I sound like such a broken record, I sound so overly redundant with how much I'm thanking people, and I make such a big deal about the membership gifts and the fan funding and all that stuff. But it's because, like, yeah, that's literally what allows me to be like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, practically. I mean, there's limits to that because I'm still beholden to YouTube and their terms of service, but that matters to me, man. And I guess maybe I do probably squander some opportunities of making more money and getting the bag, so to speak. But it's not even, I mean, maybe I'm too stubborn for my own good, but it's just because it's like, I don't know, if I turn to my audience and I say what you're giving is enough, but then to just be like, but actually it's not, I want more, so I'm going to do these sponsors. I feel like that's me. Like, I feel like I'm basically lying. Or not lying, that's too strong of a word, but it's like me turning my audience and saying, what you guys give is enough, but I want more. And it makes me feel, I'm not going to lie, it makes me feel a little bit selfish. And you guys listen, not going to get into members lounge territory here, but I'm a deep thinker. I'm a bit philosophical at times. And, I just reflect on that a little bit. I'm like, when is enough for me personally? If how can I be critical of anything or anyone else if I don't even know where the line is for me? And I'm a human being, I'm at the mercy of all these things, just like everybody else is, where it's like, yeah, there are times in my life where I feel like I do want more. But I'm always that person, though. I am a bottom line type of person, man, to a detrimental degree, where I'm like, MBG, what is going to make you happy, though? Like, really, what's going to make you happy? And I look around, man, and when I start to get in that mode of thinking and I observe people, I observe their behavior, I see the way they conduct themselves, the way they carry themselves, the way they talk, maybe their presence on the internet, outside of the internet. And I think the truth is that for a lot of people, they have no idea what will make them happy. But they're part of a system where the system kind of nudges you in directions where it's like, this will make you happy. Owning this, this, and that. Having more of that, and this. More will make you happy. And I think a lot of people cross a certain threshold where, well, you have more than you even know what to do with now. Are you happy yet? And they'll be like, well, no. I mean, like, you can enjoy the comforts of it, certainly. Like, you can be appreciative of it. But are you content? Are you truly content and happy? And I think people always end up finding that there's something more, that there's something out there that matters a lot more. And I think everybody, to an extent, even if they're not fully consciously aware of it, is searching for it. wait, Gaming Survivor, you're about to completely change the energy. Hold on. Console of Shame. I'm over here getting philosophical, and Gaming Survivor's like, Console of Shame, bro. I'll play it as the closer. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of more, I want more memberships. I'm going to take all the sponsors. I need more. And so we're doing a member drop. I am doing a member drop. We'll do, how long is this song? We'll do a 3.5 minute member drop. Irvin, you're saying, MBG, your channel matters a lot to me. I care a lot. It holds a ton of good memories for me. I want it to do the best it can, and when I see it healthy, it makes me happy. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Irfan. I try to keep that in mind too. Like, you know, sometimes I just get my own. I mean, obviously, my channel is extremely important to me. It's like, you know, a major fucking part of my life. But I guess I don't really think about the role it plays in other people's lives. And sometimes I think, what if I were to just be like, yeah, guys, I'm going to retire. I can't do this anymore. I think that, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there would be some people who are like, fuck, bro. Like, what do you mean? And they would be upset. And I'd be upset too, you know? So I appreciate that you guys appreciate, that I appreciate that you appreciate. MBG, have any decisions you have made in a story-centered game with choices made you feel like genuine remorse later on? Oh, I'm sure there are examples of that. Mainly like the Telltale games, the Walking Dead games, for the ones I played. Can't remember the exact moments, but yeah, there were definitely times I specifically remember feeling like, oh, shit. Like, I just feel like shit right now, man. Damn. Retire and do what? I'm genuinely being honest. Yeah, I mean, well, guys, all right, I guess we'll do it now. I don't know if anything will come of it, but, you know, we did hit the goal today. There's no pressure. You know, we have a big week coming up, but I'm going to play Gaming Survivor song since we hit the goal, and we'll make the last 3.5 minutes a bit of a member drop. A bit member drop, all right? What you get in return, a big old thank you. All right, here we go.
You rolled in, proud with that neon brick. Cheap green grid, plastic little trick. Friends start to smirk, yeah, they know that glow. Like a stamp on your soul, saying casual flow. Console of shame, throw it away. That box drags your whole damn name. Console of shame, dead weight shine. Xbox One on your fragile fame. Console of shame, break that frame. You look small when you play.
console of shame. Wow. And we have Ray, longtime member for 53 months. Thank you, Ray. He says, I love the channel. We laugh, we rant, we make good friends, we analyze necklines, all the normal things gaming channels do. Thanks for the good times, MBG. Well, thank you, Ray, and thank you for remembering as well. You know, it's the memories, right, that really count. I'm glad you I'm glad you will never forget the necklines, Ray. That must have been the peak. That must have been the peak for the channel for you. Maybe we'll return to that. You never know. Guys, that is going to wrap up today's stream, though, nearly a 4-hour stream. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Irfan, we're just gonna wrap it up, Irfan. Just gonna wrap it up. Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I only have one more request from you as you're leaving. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button. We hit over 220 likes, which I really, really have to say that helps a lot. So hit that like button on your way out. And I want to thank you guys for hitting 27 members today. We were able to feed the beasts, which I'm sure they appreciate as well. And thank you for any super chats or direct donations. Yes, even you, Richrod. I appreciate it, man. Can only do what I do because you guys make it possible. I don't know. Am I saying that? I feel like I'm saying it too much. I'm sorry. I feel like I keep repeating myself too much. I can't help it. Be on the lookout on the Discord for violence. That's literally one of my rules, no violence. But okay, Rich, if you say so. And yeah, we'll probably be coming back here, you know, throughout the remainder of the week. And obviously, we're going to build up to Thursday. Thursday is going to be a big day. I'm going to take a lot of drugs that day. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. But Thursday's I'm going to have a lot of caffeine. Caffeine is technically a drug. Verbal violence. But yeah, Thursday's going to be a good day. So we'll build up to that. All right. You'll be on travel that day. Damn. Yeah, I hope so too. Or I hope you'll be able to tune in, Irfan. But guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I got to make sure to I got to bring 4 Pop-Tarts. God, I forgot about that one. Ray doesn't forget. I have to also give a shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps for the streams. If you guys see him in the comments with the timestamps, give him some thanks, show him some love. I know he appreciates it. And yeah, Devil Shooter, thank you for what you do for the community, man, and the channel. And that's it. Guys, I'm going to go eat dinner. Maybe get some gaming in. Maybe work on my stash game a little bit, you know? All right. That's it. Guys, I will catch you in the next one. Until then, take care, everyone.